Hello and welcome to I Am Geek, and this is episode 112. Yes, that many. We're still here for some reason.
No, for good reasons.
For good reasons. I'm Ryan. I'm here with my brother Chris and our good pal Katrin. And tonight we have not one epic guest.
What?
But two epic guests. Because it's epic night here on I Am Geek, which we'll talk about that later. Anyways, Tyler Dean is back with us. The girls are going crazy in the background. Oh, Tyler Dean.
Where are they at?
Let me go. Let me out of the closet.
Why is there manly sounding women in your house
already?
And he has brought best friends? I don't know.
Yeah.
Good friends?
Yeah.
Our new friend to the show, Hank
Acquaintances?
Bagwell, or the Hank Bagwell, if you're on
That's
Twitter.
right. That's right.
The one and only.
I want you to give me one of those Shane McMahon best in the world introductions.
No, not with the wrestling. No, it had to be a
Already.
wrestling reference. Already.
I could call you Buff Bagwell for the night if you want me to.
Oh my God!
Oh, Buff Bagwell.
It's like,
It's better
that's
than
our
like,
cousin right there. I'm like, man, so is the baseball guy. Cousins ain't showing up at no reunions. I don't know. We ain't getting any tickets.
it's better than Hank and Stank. That's what they used to call you in school, right?
That's right.
Yeah. So
Right. Well, I'm happy to be here, guys. I'm really super excited. This is my first podcast ever, ever. So, a good way to start this.
Yeah, we're excited that you made I Am Geek your first.
Yeah.
Of many, I hope.
I hope so. Right.
But you are, you're not just Hank Bagwell. You're the Hank Bagwell. You are can we say actor, director, producer, writer?
A little bit of all. I've written a novel that I'm getting ready to publish, but most importantly, right now, lately, I'm involved in a passion project of mine. I did a bunch of short films, did some acting, and but really the thing that kind of grabbed a hold of me the most is I'm working on a feature documentary right now about the side effects of Agent Orange on the children and grandchildren of Vietnam veterans.
Oh wow!
So, and hopefully we're going to wrap that up in the fall. And that'll be cool. So, and then I'm going to go and do something about puppies or kittens or something a lot harder.
Yeah, definitely. You'd want to. That's going to be deep. But my wife, that's sort of her job. She works with veterans, and she is part of this new kind of therapy that's helping veterans sort of conquer basically PTSD. So that's really cool. That's something you're doing.
that's awesome.
But it's called ART, which is eye movement therapy that's sort of
Really
that's doing some crazy things to helping not just people with PTSD but with anything. Like she this is sort of off the subject, but she was getting ready to fly somewhere and somebody with her was terrified of flying, and she did the therapy on them, and it was the first time that they flew without like having panic attacks and stuff. It works that fast.
I just had to, I was in Budapest for a film market because we, started doing some distribution and stuff. And then I just had to fly up to Michigan for a little bit. And I hate to fly. Tyler knows this. I absolutely despise flying.
For a man who hates flying, you travel a lot.
I do. But I truly, truly hate it. So I have figured out this thing, and I realized what an idiot it makes me look like. But this is going to help somebody who hates it, because I'll be like, man, I hate turbulence, and I'll grab a hold of something and be like, and I feel like we're just plummeting, right? That's not going to happen, but still it freaks me out. And so now I just put on my headphones, and I'll put on something jamming, and I'm moving in the seat. I'm full blown dancing, in the seat. And then I realize that I don't notice the boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
And people are looking at me going, what are you doing? And I'm dancing. And so, but it helps. So
I do something similar. I'll cross my legs and just kind of keep moving with the turbulence, just so I don't really notice it. It's the same thing. I saw a story on Today's Show or something. There's a place in Hollywood that you can go, and it's a turbulence simulator built to help you get over your fear of flying. They simulate the turbulence, and they go through all this stuff, and they tell you, if you can write with your opposite hand that you normally write with, or tie your shoe, and just do something that distracts your brain from all that's happening. And one of the things that really helped me was that they said no plane has ever gone down because of turbulence. And it made me feel a lot better. It's like it's just bumps in the road is all it is. It's like going down a highway in a bus, with bumps. But
that means it's about time for it to happen.
Well, guys, I gotta go now.
Yeah.
Knock on wood, right? I didn't knock on wood.
I just
put Pink Panther on my phone and watched it.
Pink Panther?
Yeah.
Tyler got me watching
Steve Martin's Pink Panther. Yeah.
most anything besides wrestling that I do that's considered like geeky or nerdy. I can blame on Tyler Dean, and he got me watching Supernatural, so I'm watching it from the beginning.
I thought you stopped watching it, man. I was
no, because I get on the plane and I'm like, I've downloaded a bunch of episodes, and like I get on the plane and like episode number 3, I'm in the air and the plane is crashing, and I'm like, this. I'm like, nope. It was awful. Where like the guy's demon possessed and his eyes are black and he's like, and rips open the door. I'm like, that's not even possible. And I'm terrified.
Yeah, I love Supernatural, so I could talk about that forever. I just go in the bathroom on the plane. I'm like, I'm just gonna sit in the bathroom. I don't know. I'm more comfortable in there for some reason.
It's comfortable.
He spends a lot of time in the bathroom.
Oh yeah, I've got some stomach issues.
That's his second home.
Like I don't feel like I'm tied down. I'm just like, if I'm going down, I might as well go down in the with the sink beside me.
Okay.
Go how you lived.
Yeah, go how I live.
You're on a plane, please go in the bathroom, take a selfie, and say you're doing it for Ryan.
I'm doing that next time I'm on a plane.
Ryan Street method.
Yeah, that's my method. It's proven.
It's proven for you, right?
For me, anyways.
People ask me, "Oh, don't you like to watch out the plane when you're flying?" I'm like, "No, I don't." Like, it's also I'm terrified of heights. Speaking of heights, we'll get to that story about this guy. I've got to watch my mouth.
Thank you.
Hey,
Disney story. Remind me when we get
you up to a whole world. Okay, literally.
Can we just start off with a mini story?
Yeah.
So, like 3 years ago,
Can I tell you your version or my version?
No, the only version there is. So years ago, I take my daughter to Disney, right? And I'm like, okay, it's Disney, and I get motion sick, and I got sick on the Winnie the Pooh ride, and so like I'm like hanging my head over, and I'm yakking on the Winnie the Pooh ride, right? And she's like looking at me. She's like 3 at the time. She's like, "What is wrong with you?" And so I fell in love with Disney because of Tyler. He's like, "No, dude, you should really check this out." And we went, and I was like, I love this place, and now I'm in love with it. But there are still certain things to where I don't like really want to do those kind of things. So he's like, "Man, you should go." Now, mind you, terrified of heights, right? He says, "You should go to this place called in this Disney, and there's this ride called the Tower of Terror."
I didn't.
Just shut up. Shut up. You get no credibility in this story at all. And so he goes. He says, "You're gonna love it." And he goes, "It's like help me out, Twilight Zone." He goes, "It's like Twilight Zone." And so I'm like, "Oh, this will be cool, right?" And so we get up there, and I'm like just hanging out. I'm like, "Dude, this is awesome!" And like the beginning of it's amazing. You're sitting there, you're looking at all this stuff, and this guy, and I'm like, "Is this like this the whole way through?" And the guy behind me is with his girlfriend, and he's like, "Wait a minute. This is the first time you've ever ridden this?" And I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "This is going to be amazing." And all of a sudden, it just goes, whoa, and I'm screaming. I'm just like, "I hate you guys!" Awful. And I call him as soon as I get off. He can't even answer the phone. He's just laughing. Hysterical.
I know, like Disney is. I think I might have even had this conversation with the guys on this podcast before. Like they understand it's not just for children. I often quote Walt when he said, "Don't just sell yourself to children. It will be the death of you." And I feel like they've lost sight of that. And the Hollywood Tower Hotel, the Tower of Terror, is from an era where people in that company, knew that it wasn't just for children. It was about taking you places you otherwise couldn't. And that ride, takes you to the Twilight Zone. And it really, people who like Hank, he was in a position where he thought it was for children. I needed to open his eyes. It's like, this is what Disney's really capable of when they put their mind to it. And it's not necessarily just the fall. Of course, you guys know I'm preaching to the choir here, preaching to the preacher.
Hallelujah.
I mean, it's not just the fall. I mean, it psychs you out. It puts you in that place, and it's that anticipation.
Yeah.
So now it's a story that you can still talk about, man.
I love it. I wouldn't trade it, but I'm not getting on that thing again.
At least I got on it once, and some kid decided, what would be cool to do? Throw a handful of change in the air.
Oh God!
Because in his mind, it's just going to float the whole time, and he threw it, and it was at definitely the wrong time. He threw it, and there were quarters and nickels and stuff flying all over that little cage that you're in. And people are like, "What's going on?" And we got off the ride, and there's like change all over the ground. And,
that sounds awesome.
oh,
At least it wasn't like a roll of quarters.
yeah.
Awful.
At least you weren't on it when the crazy lady started pushing all the buttons because her fast pass didn't work. Did you read about that?
Is that what she did? I thought she just punched a cast member.
So they said no, like, to her fast pass, and she started to push the buttons, and the lady pushed her away, and then that's when she punched her.
What?
God.
What is it with these fights at Disney lately?
I don't know.
Did you see the people that got in a fight the other day, and everybody was filming it, nobody wanted to stop it?
Yeah.
And I was just like, what in the world?
Yeah.
I blame Bob Iger.
Oh, don't even get this started on the shirts, man. Don't even get me, like, there's words I can't say about Bob Iger.
Bob Paycheck's the best one.
It's just so quickly how quickly I've gotten on board, and so I've developed this word called Insta Snob. And so, like, how quickly I develop an opinion about something, whether I love it or hate it. So hence Animal Kingdom, right? And it's like, I'll say something. So it'd be just kind of like, before I'd been like, oh, Bob Iger or whatever. And now I'm just like, Bob Iger, beep.
You see that thing where it's like, it's a meme going around where it says, therapist. And what do we do, when we, I don't remember exactly what it says. Like, what do we do or what do we say or something like that? And the guy's like, it's Bob Iger's fault. And then the therapist is like, no. So, yeah. What do we do? Blame Bob Iger. That's me. Okay.
So you mentioned Animal Kingdom. Now that is your favorite park, right?
By far, it's the only park. It's the only park worth paying money to go to. Like, the rest of it is just kind of like, whatever. Let me go on one step further.
There's a step further?
Yeah, step further. One step. I cannot wait for all these other parks to open. Like, this guy, I was having dinner the other night. I'm sitting at the bar eating some chicken wings, and this guy, he's like, what do you do? And I'm like, I'm a film producer. And he's like, well, what do you? And I was like, what do you do? And he says, I build roller coasters. And I was like, really? Like, which one are you working on? He goes, I'm working on the Guardians of the Galaxy one right now.
Oh.
And I'm like, that's amazing. And he goes on to tell his job, and I'm like, and it's fascinating. And then I said,
Why
well,
didn't you tell me this story?
because it just happened like last night.
He was saving it for this show.
Yeah, for the show. And so I told him, I said, I'm going to need you to hurry so you can get all those people out of Animal Kingdom. Like, because I love those places, and let me have my park back. Like, I love, like, Pandora, and Flight of Passage is by far, my opinion, the best ride in all of Disney. But all the other rides I used to love, and you could go like, 5, 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes. And now they're like, if you can, like, try for 7 months, you can get, like, a fast pass for another ride. And, like, I hate it. I need everybody to go back to their parks and leave my little, what that guy called it the other day, a petting zoo or something. And I'm like,
A zoo with rides.
mm-hmm.
I too love Animal Kingdom. The last time I went, I think by the end of the trip, I was like, that was my, favorite park of the trip. Now, my favorite ride is always going to be, no matter what they build, they could build something that gives you $100 bills every time you ride it. Doesn't matter. My favorite ride is always going to be Big Thunder Mountain. That's my, number one ride. But Flight of Passage is an experience. It is amazing. We've talked about it before. I've talked about it with Tyler a lot.
We need
Ryan,
to redo.
Oh, go ahead. No, after you.
I was just going to say we need to redo our tournament bracket now that we've ridden those rides, because we at the time nobody had ridden Flight of Passage really except for you, and then we didn't have Toy Story, the Slinky Dog Dash. So
elephant came running through.
Let's talk about the elephant in the room.
Yeah. Anyway,
yeah, we do. We need to redo that.
So your favorite ride is Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, huh?
Oh yeah, it's the one.
Do you want to write a screenplay?
Oh, please, God, yes.
Sure. First, I have to learn how to write. So
No.
no,
The rock stars in it.
yeah. Oh no, let's not get on the rock.
No, I mean, yeah, he's got to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, exactly.
It's like my dad said. I wish I could go see a movie with The Rock in it right now. Jeez.
All right.
please, no.
So are you writing?
That was
Are you writing a screenplay for Big Thunder Mountain?
We'll take that as a yes.
I've had a couple ideas for a few years.
I love that ride. It's the one
Well,
ride.
actually, it's indirect. It's indirectly based on that, but it's. I really love a thing called the Western River Expedition.
Oh yes,
So, yeah, and I would like to see that see the light of day one day.
that would be awesome.
And I think the only way we can, I think the only way we can make that happen is if there is a successful franchise based on that, and then they're going to want to be like, oh, hey, maybe we can build a ride. Well, you do have plans.
Where would they put that now?
I mean,
Any of y'all say Animal Kingdom, I'm going to
yeah, no, I was thinking there's some land back behind Africa there, Hank.
Oh, shut up. I'm so ready for people to be gone. It's like, I like to go to the other, I like to go ride Pirates because I've got a little hack that I can get all these little fast passes and I cheat a little bit. And so then I can just like ride it repeatedly.
I have a hack.
And then, what's that?
That I have a hack too. We can talk about that.
Yeah,
later.
it's probably the same one. We probably have the same one.
No.
He's in the bathroom a lot.
There we go.
Hey, but I mean, not to interrupt, but I just wanted to say, Ryan, should we like tell Hank about the Zootopia expansion?
Oh gosh, no, let's not. I don't want to edit a lot of stuff out of this episode.
Come on now.
Where would they put that?
Just breathe.
No,
Just
there
breathe.
Zootopia.
Yes, at a zoo. man.
But it's not the zoo.
Yeah, it's not a zoo. That's right.
Matt Damon's gonna have a section because he bought a zoo.
This is going to be the greatest park ever.
Sorry.
So, have you rode the safari ride at night yet, Hank?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Just wondered.
Like,
most people actually go, I didn't know they did it at night. I'm like, yeah.
oh yeah. Yeah, I think
With
it's
the,
cool.
with the big LED screen.
I'm sad that I was not a fan. Tyler told me how they used to do it, with the people like chasing and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, why can't we have that back? Instead, like,
Bob Iger.
Foopy, man. Foopy.
We can't say that on this
I
podcast.
know. I'm just Foopy.
It was good. But after you rode it a few times, it was like, oh well, we're gonna have random elephant at the end again. So it was good. I like both versions.
I feel like it had more purpose. It
Yeah,
actually had a story.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had a
we're
story.
like, don't they still say like your 2-week safari at the beginning, and then at the end you just stop and they're like, okay, Kwa Harini. It's like, well, wait a minute. There's no there was actually a reason marked in why
I don't know
safari
why they
stopped.
got rid of it. Probably, I don't know.
The guns, the poachers shooting,
Probably.
and that Jeep effect, because it was on a track or whatever. That rarely worked, and then so you just heard sound effects.
What's
And
I mean, everything in Animal Kingdom got a break. The Jeep breaks. We got a Yeti that's broken. Like they got a.
Oh, Disco Yeti. Gotta love it. It's what makes the park great.
I have a giant picture of.
What happened? You froze up there for a minute.
I have a giant picture of Katrin just right here on my screen. Oh, there we go.
What else could you ask for? Everybody gets that.
It was just me and Katrin.
Sorry.
I'm jealous.
This is the part of the podcast when Katrin takes you by yourself.
So
That's Katrin's on.
Katrin's Corner.
Katrin's corner.
Hey, dude, you need to branch off, do your own thing.
I'm probably will.
Whoa. The contract does not allow that.
Contract does not allow
That's
that.
right.
That's right.
Yeah.
I got him signed up for life.
I'll lose all the money.
Yeah,
All of it.
all the money. Anyways.
Yeah, he can't go off his own, and he won't let me leave.
Well, I mean, like, you're in a nursing home. You're not going
It's like my
Yeah, I'm in a
third
nursing home.
episode. Am I like getting a paycheck now, or like how does this work?
It's
Yeah.
just it'll come. Just wait.
Can I at least get a T-shirt?
Yeah, you
We'll
can
see.
buy.
Oh, wow.
You could buy.
Wow.
You could buy
Asking
a
on the
T-shirt.
podcast.
Yeah. I'll let you buy a T-shirt. Nope.
Ah.
Man,
Where'd you buy that at?
We'll let you buy it.
You can buy the T-shirts at shop.spreadshirt.com/IamGeek.
see, I set you up for it, man.
Wait, where is that again? Where can I buy that again?
It's shop.spreadshirt.com/IamGeek, or you could go to our website IamGeekShow.com and there'll be a link to it there.
That is like I probably need to write that down again. One more time.
Oh man!
Now who's Bob Iger? Now who's Bob Iger? Oh,
So Hank, we'll end the Animal Kingdom on this. Did you like Animal Kingdom before Pandora? Was it still your favorite?
yes,
Okay.
absolutely, it was my favorite. And then no, and here's the thing.
No, and then.
Like nobody who goes to Animal Kingdom like to see Pandora. Like if they're like we want to go see Pandora, they don't care about the other stuff. Like they just do it to annoy me. No.
Where's the best restaurant, Hank?
Oh, Sanaa.
And where is that?
Animal Kingdom Lodge. I'll tell you what else I love about Animal Kingdom. You can go get a bourbon bacon chocolate milkshake in Animal Kingdom. And you know where you get it at? In the kiddie part of Dino World or whatever it is. Which is the best place they could ever put it.
All the kids love it.
That's right. At least the parents, you're like,
Since you love the park so much, what do you think of the rumors of Dino Land going away and becoming Indiana Jones?
He didn't
I love that
know.
idea.
Just dinosaur, though, right?
Except for the fact that, again, like I'm trying to get people out of that park.
Right.
Like Star Wars, Guardians of the Galaxy, like go away. Like I love it. Like go. The thing that I love about I've been very fortunate that I've gotten to travel, you know, across the world and like some really cool places, you know, that weren't like tourist attractions. So when I graduated high school, I mean, I grabbed a backpack and I was in Mexico and Thailand and Fiji and Japan and Vanuatu, and I was just everywhere. And so I was just able to hang out in these really cool places that, like, before they had, you know, when you had to go to an internet cafe, I'm telling my age here a little bit, you know, and go and text, you know, like send your mom an email and say, hey, I'm alive. And going to that park reminds me of being in those kind of places. So to me, it's not about the rides or anything. And I think Tyler's the one that introduced me to all that idea. Is it was like, I'm just sitting there, I'm just hanging out. I'm going to like the little, what are they called? Where they have the little, like the little food court. What's that called?
Oh, the Harambe Market.
Yeah.
Ramen market, yeah. And so you can just go there and you're just sitting and you're just chilling out. And there's the music and there's the ambience and there's just like the buildings. And you literally escape. That's what made me fall in love with Disney, just and specifically that in general. So because you're escaping into something that's actually real, conservation, taking care of this planet, taking care of the animals, taking care of all those kind of things. So that's what I fell in love with most, because I can go there. It's 40 minutes down the road from my house, and I just go there, and now I'm just like I'm hanging out. I'm in Africa.
Lucky.
I dig it.
I remember when I toured backpack through the world. It was great. I went to Mexico, Norway.
The VR system.
Yeah, by the time I got to Japan, I had to call my mom and was like, I'm in Japan. I don't know if I should go back to Germany and get caramel corn or go to Italy and get gelato. It was crazy times.
It was a good time.
You're an Italian gelato.
But I think Animal Kingdom probably is the best overall themed park, right? Because you really, like you said, you really feel like you're somewhere else. You're in another country. Like you go to Magic Kingdom and it's like, it's a lot of things, but it feels like an amusement park, right? And you're just going to ride these rides. Okay, it's Frontierland. Oh yeah, and now I'm in Adventureland, and they're great, but it's not really well themed, or extensive. Like there's, when you go to Animal Kingdom, you got things like buildings that look like you're in Africa. There's wires everywhere. There's all this, kind of like how they're doing with, with Galaxy's Edge. It really feels like you're in this planet, in this different land when you're there. Toy Story Land, I mean, it's just whatever. These other lands, it's like, but I get what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, it's the most complete themed park.
Yeah.
And it's the closest thing we have stateside to Disney Sea.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. I get that.
Speaking of, by the way, Katrin, I knew you were my favorite person on this podcast. Speaking of
everybody's favorite, really.
Galaxy's Edge, Tyler has a little bit of a secret.
Wait, are we doing it now?
Oh, secret? Right now. You're taking us to Galaxy's Edge?
Yes!
I'll be ready tomorrow.
You're going to learn the difference between he and I right now, because he is a lifesaver in this kind of thing. And so go ahead and tell him what happened.
I'm just going to let you tell him. I didn't want to take the heat, man.
So, Tyler, I get this email. I'm a platinum pass holder or whatever it's called. I don't know. And so, like, I get these emails all the time from them, and I never look at them, like, ever. And then Tyler calls me. He goes, "Hey, what are you doing on the 20th?" And I'm like, "Working." I'm like,
Look at Ryan. Look at Ryan.
Uh-huh. And he goes, "Did you get the email from Disney today?" And I said, "No." And he goes, "Well, it's all right because I booked this." He goes, "We got the invitation to go to Galaxy's Edge." And all right, he goes, "I got one, and I put you in because you got your pass holder." And I was like, "Awesome, let's go." And then I'm like checking my email, and I was like, "Look," I was like, "There's my invitation." But by the time I actually thought to look at it, he's already got it. So that guy, the 20th.
I love you all. I love you all.
I'm going in September, so.
Okay. Well, that's not too bad.
Okay. Well, here's the part that's going to bother you, and I'm just going to go ahead and throw myself under the bus. We can end the podcast and throw me off and never have me on again. Tyler.
No.
You can tell him.
Ryan, our fellow guest, he's not a Star Wars fan.
Well.
Oh.
I know. Okay. And I'm going to this thing. And I'm like,
but here's the thing, though, okay? When I first met Hank, he was and I'm going to have to clean this up for the
podcast. Ryan's gone. He's out.
Ryan just left.
Like you. Ryan, you look like you could pass for me. Oh, look at this.
Nice.
Wow. So real.
Oh.
For those listening at home,
Ryan just screwed
he
himself.
impaled himself with a lightsaber.
I'm good.
Now,
he's back.
Samurai that he is.
I'm back.
And it's like you're serving caviar, and he's like, fish eggs.
Go ahead. Finish your story.
First met Hank, he was his palate when it came to films was very much unlike mine. He did like Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark. We bonded over that. But when it come to big blockbuster popcorn films, it wasn't really his thing. I think nourished an appreciation in Hank for these types of films. And he told me he didn't like Star Wars, and I was like, dude, whether or not you like it, people do. So you're going to have to understand. Like, you're going to have to try to figure out why people like it, because if you don't, like, like for example, I think even one of Hank's heroes, what's his freaking name? Tarantino. There you go. Yeah. I think one of his heroes.
The pizza rolls.
Star Wars, huh?
The pizza rolls.
That's Totino.
Sorry, go ahead.
The fresh maker.
I think Tarantino, while he may not be a huge Star Wars fan, like, he understands it and gets the appreciation for it. While it might not be the films he makes, he understands. So I told Hank he probably needed to do the same. So I actually took Hank to see The Force Awakens,
okay,
and he enjoyed it.
I did.
I'm sorry that was your first experience with Star Wars.
Oh, it was.
No, it's not. So
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna show you guys something here. Let me get this. So I actually have, when people talk about like their bucket list, I actually have a written down physical, like, legit bucket list, right? And then I've had it for years, and it's stained and like let me see if it'll pull off the wall here. Okay. So yeah, so like I keep it up in front of me. I don't know if you can see it. So anyway, so it's got all these things on it, right?
Yeah.
So because I'm a filmmaker, the first thing people go is, "Oh, do you love Star Wars?" And I'm like, and so like on number 38, and it's checked off now. It was watch Star Wars on a bucket list, just because I got tired of people like trolling me, being like, "Have you seen it?" And I'm like, "Finally, now I've seen them all." So I like the new ones, but the old ones, I'm just like,
your list is like Captain America after he came back from the past.
Yeah.
Watch Star Wars.
Yeah.
Listen to jazz.
I get that reference.
There's a lot of people who are just like, "Oh, well, what's on your bucket list?" And I'm like, "I'm not telling."
You're Captain
So like, there are
America.
very things I'll tell people about, but like that's one of them, and it's like, whatever.
Try Thai food. Like, what the?
Right.
Okay.
It was on there, I think.
So it's learn how to cook green curry. So like, I love green curry, but I'm like, I never could figure it out. Now I can do it. So hey, there it is.
So
Hank
you
and
mentioned
I are very similar, just not in our passions. We're similar in our passion about our passions. So we have a respect for one another and one of each other's passions. And when it comes to filmmaking, I think he's like me. I think he's a perfectionist. And when I watch the original Star Wars, I have a much more fond appreciation of them than he does, or did rather. But when I watch them, like, as a filmmaker, I want to fix them. Like, I want to fix, like, issues that I have, technical issues, like, like the special effects and stuff. Mm-hmm. So I kind of felt that maybe he was coming at it from the same angle. So I told him, I said, dude, you got to look over that. Like, you got to look beyond that. You got to look at the story. You got to look at what it is. Like, it's a farm boy who literally goes, like, has a calling, right? And he goes to, he's like a normal dude, right? And, or is he? And, you got to look at it. You're right. You look at it from that story perspective. And I think he did. And now he has a much more appreciation for it. Of course, I can't speak for him, but we've had extended conversations about that.
So I want to back up a minute, because this will determine if I hit stop right now or not. Did I hear you correctly that said, I like the new ones better than the old ones?
It's election season, and I'm just going to defer and talk about something completely different. I'm not even going to answer the question. Let me say this. I don't know how I missed that thing, but like, I remember watching The Last Starfighter and loved it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I don't know what happened. I don't know where I got lost in that.
We're the same age too, right? You're born.
Oh, and I'm 41.
Yeah, me too. Okay.
But I love the Goonies. Like the 80s.
Oh,
like,
so good.
To me, it was some of the best filmmaking, because here's the thing with me with a film is that, and it's kind of a rule. If you're watching the film and you're thinking, oh, that camera shot was amazing, or you're thinking, oh, well, that, that, da, 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 da. If you're thinking any of those kind of things, that sounds really good. Those special effects are cool. Then, like, to me, like, I'm lost because I start doing what Tyler does, where, like, I'm wanting to fix something or I'm wanting to change something or something. The greatest thing that ever happens to me is when I'm watching a film and I'm just lost in it. I'm just like, this is amazing. I'm loving everything about it. I don't want to, like, I'm not noticing any of the effects. I'm not noticing how great the dialogue or any of the audio, and I'm just in love with it. That's kind of how I judge, movies on whether or not I like them or not. So it's funny I have this little game that I always ask somebody because I think you can know a lot about them. I was like, if you're stuck on a deserted island for the rest of your life, but you have a never-ending iPod, right? But it can only hold 5 artists. Like, who's on your iPod? Like, you can have their entire body of work, but who do you put on? If you can only get 5. Same thing with films. It's kind of like, and you can, like, kind of pick up, who somebody is based on that, So.
Yeah. Just don't like The Last Jedi, please.
Which one was that one? That was the most recent one?
Yeah.
Oh.
We don't have.
It doesn't make me go, oh my gosh, I'm not so passionate about it that I have an opinion. Let me say that.
Okay. It's a piece of garbage.
Talk to me about
Anyways, so top 5 music. I mean,
yeah, let's hear it.
Well, I would definitely have that song. What was it? It was a kid that sang it. It was about Taylor Swift.
Oh wow!
What song is that?
Is he frozen on?
He's frozen.
I don't know you heard.
He's frozen.
Yeah, I mean it keeps doing it, and now I'm looking at Katrin again.
It's okay.
Oh my God, dude!
You're good on our end.
Father.
You're good on Aaron. It's okay. You just missed my favorite song of all time. So
yeah,
I'll just listen to the podcast.
Yeah,
later.
listen back and.
Because I'm a fan.
Your Twitter is gonna blow up from T Diddy. It's gonna blow up.
That's really funny that you didn't hear it. Now I'm like happy that I said that.
Yeah, it's like
It had to. If I had to take a stab. Hang on. I just chill.
Oh, is he finding something to actually stab with?
Oh no.
Yeah, maybe.
If I had to take a stab.
That'd be the one.
Yeah, be the one.
That'd be the one. Hey, Tyler, he is willing to trade a T-shirt for an autographed cover of that.
Yes. I'll give you a T-shirt for that. An autographed cover of that song.
I'm sorry, I only have radio promotional copies. It says not for sale. So
he would trade a T-shirt for a photo of that's autographed.
Tyler Dean had a song called Taylor Swift long ago, and it haunts him to this day.
I should imagine it's only going to get worse one day.
But you should tell them a little bit more about that, though.
Oh, we've talked about it extensively.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's the funniest thing.
Y'all want to know more, talking to the listeners, y'all can go back and find that episode on the I Am Geek podcast, where we talk about Tyler Dean's past and how he was not infatuated with Taylor Swift, but the record label made him say he was. So,
while you're there, please give us a 5-star rating and leave us a comment.
And get a T-shirt.
Shop.spreadshirt.com/IamGeek.
Oh right. Man. Anyway, so since we're talking about theme parks, I thought we'd move over to the other side of the Orlando area because there's a big announcement today. So we have to talk about this news that came out today and all of its epicness.
Here we go. I don't mind the name. Like, I don't know why people are like, I think Fantastic Worlds would have been worse for Disney fans because it's just going to be that whole, now is this Hollywood Studios or is this MGM?
I think it's funny that it's called Universal's Epic Universe. I want it to be Universal's Epic Universe of Epicness because you might as well just finish it out.
Literally
redundant.
on the website on the announcement, they said, what was it? Something like, we know that the word epic is being thrown around a lot, but I'm like, but you picked it? I don't know why they didn't call it Universal Springs, just to be honest.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. I don't care how long it took you to come up with that joke. It was worth it, sir.
No, that was just it. I just remembered, like, I saw the layout, and I was like, what? This is Disney Springs. What is this? It was just, I was like.
Yeah, we're going to go through that layout here in a minute. Before they announced that the name was Epic Universe, somebody had posted on Twitter or something all these pictures that they had gathered from around Universal Studios Orlando, where the word epic is literally on everything in the parks. And they're like, I wonder what the name of the new park's going to be called.
Oh,
and then it was called Epic Universe. Like, it was on crates, it was on sides of buildings, it's everywhere. They have the word epic, and that's what I found it pretty funny that it actually.
I'm gonna tell you who wouldn't do that. Bob Iger would never do that.
Oh, Bob. A T-shirt in there somewhere.
Oh, did I freeze again?
No, you're fine.
No.
I'll let you know.
Hey, Catron, how you doing, man?
It's me and you,
How
buddy.
you doing?
I'll let you know on my end if you go off. Because as long as we can hear you on this end, doesn't matter. Anyways, so basically the announcement, they announced the title, and they basically had some artwork that is artwork.
It's
got a hotel. It's going to have shopping, attractions, all that fun stuff. But I went on and I looked up all the rumors of what it actually is going to be. Do you guys actually know what the lands are going to be?
I looked up some rumors. The How to Train Your Dragon one is the one that I was going to mention.
Yeah,
as long as they have like a Notting Hill section. I'm kidding. That's where I want to head to. I want to ride that Hugh Grant ride.
No, you don't. It's full of.
He pulls up in a car and tries to pick you up and then drive off.
For some reason they make you put a wig on before you get on the ride. Some of our listeners are like,
"I'm sorry,
Hugh Grant?
would you care to I'm sorry, would you
oh, goodness.
It's Chris Street, folks,
Yep.
the man of many voices.
Yeah, it's like he was here with us. All right, so I'm gonna start. Look at the picture here. If you want to look at the picture, just look it up online.
Look it up yourself.
Yeah, look it up.
do something?
We're not going to do everything for you.
So we'll go left to around the circle. So if you're looking at the picture, you're going to come in. There's going to be like a shopping type area, probably their big store that they always have with all the stuff from all the lands you can buy. Looks like some kind of carousel is going to be in the middle of a lake. I don't know. It's just what it looks like. It's some kind of flat ride. It's going to be sort of the first ride you see. And to the immediate left of that is what is rumored to be Nintendo Land. So originally, Nintendo Land was going to be in Universal Orlando, the original theme park. It was going to take over where Curious George and all that stuff is. But they nixed that, and they're going to put it in this park. So, which is probably going to be bigger. But that's going to be the first land.
Hey, this might not sound relevant, but I have a question. How do y'all feel about Toontown and Disneyland?
I've never been to Disneyland.
Oh, really?
I know, I'm sad.
It's kind of like a nightmare. Like, it literally makes you feel like you're in a nightmare. Like, it's like very surreal and just very strange. That's kind of how I feel about Nintendo Land.
Oh.
Like I've got that like weird, like I'm like trapped in a like Bowser's gonna come after me or something. I'm gonna have to like dodge bullets and stuff. I don't know.
Italian guy's gonna be trying to jump on your head or something.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know how I feel about it.
Have a pizza.
Now I want to see you go to this Nintendo Land and like run from it screaming, and people will be like, "What's going on? Is there a fire? What's happening?" No, Tyler's just scared.
As long as they base it off the movie with John Leguizamo.
Oh gosh, wouldn't that be creepy?
Then
Now that is a nightmare.
Now it's gonna supposedly have 3 rides. Is what they're thinking. Mario Kart, which could be pretty cool. Yoshi Dark Ride, which I don't know. You're just gonna be on a thing laying eggs the whole time, or spitting out eggs, or something. No, that's not Yoshi. That's his partner. What was her name?
Yoshi
Yoshi?
eats you and spits
Oh,
out
Yoshi
eggs.
does eggs, but who's the one that eats?
Shira?
Super Mario 2. I don't know.
I know you're thinking of the pink dinosaur thing with the
Yeah.
big gaping mouth.
Berta or something like that. I don't know. Anyway,
Bird.
so Yoshi Dark Ride, which who knows what that's going to be, and then a Donkey Kong ride where you're just going to be in a barrel and a giant gorilla is going to throw you.
Hmm.
No
Sounds
problem.
awful.
I hate that.
I think the thing that upset me the most was like I look at this super cool like logo of Epic Universe, and it almost has this Uncharted look, and it's got the stars behind it. It looks amazing, and then all of a sudden it's like, really, this is what you gave us?
I got Treasure Planet vibes.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah. Well, that would be cool.
I mean, look.
Yeah, definitely
Yeah.
Treasure Planet.
Oh yeah.
Kind of steampunk almost.
Either that or Doctor Who. I don't know.
Oh,
The logo doesn't really match the lands that are going to be in there, because you have Nintendo Land, and then the next one after that to the right of Nintendo Land is what's rumored to be the Universal Classic Monster Land, which could be really cool if they do it right.
yeah.
Don't
Bring
know
back
about.
the Beetlejuice stage show. That'd be cool.
There is a big stage there that can have some kind of stage show, so that's what people are rumored to think.
What?
What?
You're talking like concerts and stuff?
Oh no, Hank's a big Beetlejuice fan. He doesn't know that they got rid of the Beetlejuice thing.
They had a big Beetlejuice show at Universal Orlando for a long time. It was like a comedy.
Yeah, had the Universal monsters in it.
Yeah, it was
They also
funny.
got, like years ago, they had this like cool Alfred Hitchcock little like how they made the special effects. I thought that was one of the coolest things, and then it was just gone. And I was like,
Yeah,
really?
Shrek took it over. Yeah,
Yeah, Shrek.
I remember being in that show. I was picked from the audience to do one of the
Really?
things. It was cool.
I can see that. I get it.
Yeah, it was fun.
He's saying you look like you belong in an outfit.
That's what I was.
I'll take it.
I could
Are you
see
saying
birds
you're
tackling it.
So
you're saying
But I-
I look like Jimmy Stewart, aren't you? That's what you're
no,
saying.
but like this made me think of something, and I don't know that I could ever say it anywhere else to somebody that would get it. But you guys are kind of some wrestling fans, so I just got to veer off for just a second because it's Shrek related. So Drake Maverick, 24/7 title. His wife comes to the ring in the attire.
Yeah.
She looked like Mama Shrek.
Oh man,
Like
didn't she?
like you've got. I'll find it here in a minute. But I kept going. Why does she look like Fiona? And like she looked like Fiona, and I was like, this is not good. Like I've got to be able to tell somebody this, but like somebody that would actually get it, and not like that's so mean.
Fiona pre or post ogre?
I'll let you look.
It's
See
in
if I can
the
find it.
her eyes and her nose really.
It makes me sound like a total like bad person, but it was funny.
Well, she was wearing green. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that was it. And she doesn't always look like that. It's just for some reason it just kind of struck me that way. I'll have to find it and show you. But I think anyway, it's awful. Now I'm like, can we rewind that? I really shouldn't have said that.
48 minutes in, I need to edit that out.
My Instagram and Twitter blow up going, she does not look like Fiona.
His first podcast, man. You're body shaming, Hank. You're body shaming.
Oh, okay.
None of this will ever air.
Fiona is a very beautiful ogre.
Yeah,
sort of. Yeah.
Wait. I don't. Are you saying she? Wait, huh? What's wrong with her?
There's nothing wrong with her.
Yeah, she's the color green.
No,
and like she's got, and like the smile and like the big eyes, man. I don't know.
She has a big smile, and that's probably not in that picture. But
if you're listening, you just come talk to Tyler. He'll help you out. It's okay. He'll make you feel better. You don't look like an ogre.
Well, all I need you to do, so like Tyler's like working on a couple of projects that are like really cool, and I'm really proud of some of the stuff that he's doing. He's he's got a new EP that's like amazing, and he's going to redeem that Taylor Swift song. But it's really, really good. So here's the deal. Universal Studios, if you're listening, Epic Universal. If they get you to do like a big concert there, I'll go. And then I'll be like, let's go. and then I'll go. So.
You want to do a concert at Universal?
Yeah, I think you should.
Let's just go do one. I mean, we don't have to talk to anybody about it. Let's go do it.
Show up.
Yeah. Nobody's there. They're all at Pandora.
Golly, man. Do you guys really think? Do you think it'll give me a break? Like, really? Do you think it'll be people?
I've told you this because Star Wars is going to draw more people, and it's going to be packed. So they're going to go everywhere else.
And I have sort of a conspiracy about these rides, anyways. And I'm probably totally wrong, but through talking with people, I'm like, it makes sense that the reason that Pandora is always going to be long waits is because they control how many theaters they have open, and the guests can never see that. So if they want to make Pandora the longest wait from now until eternity, saying, look how good this ride is, they just open up 2 theaters instead of 6. Or they just say, oh, we've got problems with this theater, so we can't open it today. It's always going to be a long line because they want it to be a long line because it makes people talk about it.
Do you know what my favorite ride in Disney is? And it's in Animal Kingdom. It's not even really a ride. It's just
I know what it is.
This tells you who I am as a human, which is not always, it's not a good thing.
Oh,
like, it alarms me. It's tough to be a bug.
Aww.
And so I'm waiting in line, and I see all these little kids.
Don't say, "Oh, you don't know why he loves this ride." It's malicious.
So, like, you spend the day in the park because I think Disney is for adults. I don't think it's for kids. Like, I just don't. Like, take your little curtain climbers, go home. Like, because by the time they're like cranky and everything, and then they always want to take them to It's Tough to Be a Bug, which I think is amazing. So then you go in. And, like, I'm smiling, I'm laughing, and people, and normally I'm there, like, single rider, and, like, somebody will look at me, and they're like, wow, you're here to see this by yourself, grown man. And I'm like, this is my favorite thing ever. Like, you're going to love this. And they're like, why? And I'm like, you're about to see. And so we get to sitting down, and all of a sudden, like, everything's just great. Ooh, and all the kids are like, and then all of a sudden, like, the smoke starts going, the spiders start coming, and they start screaming bloody murder. And it's the best thing on the planet. And then when the little stinger gets you on the back and they go, and they lose it, and I'm just laughing. And I'm loving every minute of it.
That's my
favorite.
That's why I miss Honey, I Shrank the Audience that used to be in Epcot. Because I was in that one time, and it wasn't a kid, it was a grown woman. And it was sort of the same thing. I don't know if you ever wrote or was experienced it. It was over there by Imagination Pavilion. Anyways, there's a big snake that comes out and goes under your seat, and it feels like the snake's tongue is hitting the back of your legs. And this lady in the front row jumped up, stood on top of her seat, and started speaking in some other language, screaming loud, just random whatever she was saying. And it took, like, they had to get cast members to come down, and they had to show her that it wasn't a real snake and all this stuff. It was like the funniest thing I've ever seen.
The devil done got a hold of me, Jimmy. I've had it with these monkey fighting snakes on this Monday to Friday ride.
Yes!
Sir. You got it in there. Yes, sir.
Secret phrase of the day.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
What a segue.
That's awesome. Great.
But yeah, so it's the same kind of thing, but it was a grown woman like screaming her head off. It was pretty hilarious. But they replaced that with now you can watch the Pixar shorts that are on Netflix there. So,
Great.
Yeah. Bob
Bob-
Iger.
Bob Iger.
Uh,
Just to go from second to the next, just and then all of a sudden you're just like, right when he has a chance to redeem himself, then it's just like, really.
It's not just people. They often, well, I guess people will see me tweet and I'll say Bob and Co. And people have often asked me, like, what does that mean? And I'm like, anybody that agrees with Bob Iger or Bob Chapek. Like, I don't even care if you're employed by them. If you agree with what he does or you praise him at all, you're Bob and Co. Care if you're a guest, YouTube blogger, whatever. It's you. If you agree and you praise their actions, you're just promoting them. And don't do that. Like,
I'll get you a T-shirt that says Bob and Co.
I thought about making it. I thought about it. Bob.
Yeah, because at shop.spreadshirt.com/irongeek, we can make any T-shirt you want. Yeah. All right, so continue on. So the Universal Classic Monsters, we're going back on back on the original rabbit trail there.
Going clockwise, right?
Yeah. So there's a rumor that there's going to be a Dracula ride that may be in black and white, which would be
that'd be cool.
Really cool if they do that.
I'd like that.
Yeah, I'd love that. That would be really cool.
Are they basing it on the Dark Universe? That was successful.
No.
The what now?
Yeah, they're just gonna have Tom Cruise running around the park screaming at people the whole time.
Oh my goodness!
It's just watching Tom Cruise running for.
Which everybody has to look down to see that.
Yeah,
because it's so short.
Wow. We're on the Honey I Shrunk the Kids ride again.
I'll take rid of that.
Anyway,
why are all these milk boxes around? I don't understand.
Oh my gosh!
So that's that one. We'll move to the next thing, which will be a hotel that will be right in the sort of back of the park.
It's gonna be an epic hotel.
Yeah, it's gonna be epic. Like they're gonna have epic turn down service.
Epic mints on the pillow.
I think that the hotel is what made me think this is going to be a crappy thing, and the reason is because like you look at Disney Springs and like all of those hotels were fighting to get near it, right? So Disney Springs didn't come out and go, look, we have our own little thing right here in the park, like in that specific thing, but yet they had to build their own.
Huge hotel.
Yeah, it's huge. The only thing that would make it really cool is if they themed it to like whatever land it's near, so it just sort of blends in. But they probably won't do that.
It looks like a space White House.
Oh, that probably is the theme.
A space White House. Wow,
like a White House in space. That's what it looks like.
I love that movie, White House in Space.
White House in space.
Starring Tracy Morgan as Mr. President.
The Rock is vice president.
Yeah, of course. Duh. I mean,
I'm pretty sure he's got it in his contract that he cannot be vice president.
That makes the movie unbelievable.
Well, you don't know. In space, the vice president is actually in charge, and the president.
Oh, I got you. That makes sense.
President's just a figurehead.
Yeah. The president is frozen in ice.
Hey, can I make a wrestling reference since I'm not a wrestling guy?
See if he gets it right.
Hold on, let me prepare myself. Okay.
Well, I mean, hey, I'm a listener. Okay, I like to listen to my friends when they talk.
Oh.
And Hank has told me, that The Rock, Mr. DJ Dwayne Johnson, when he was in the WWE or WWF, I guess, when it was that right?
Look at you with this wealth of knowledge.
Yeah, okay. Didn't enjoy being the bad guy. Did not enjoy being the villain, right?
Right, he didn't.
Okay, so how is he why is he agreeing to be the bad guy in like a Shazam movie, Black Adam?
Because he's gonna make Black Adam cool.
Well, I mean, I honestly think it's because he's not getting enough screen time. It's hard to get roles in Hollywood these days.
That's true.
Like, I mean, how long has it been since we've seen him on a film?
Okay. It's only every other movie.
Isn't Black Adam though sort of? I mean, he's a villain, but sometimes
He's like an anti-hero.
Anti-hero, yeah.
Like for the most part, he's a villain, but he's also the ruler of a country, and for the most part, his country likes him. But yeah, he's kind of like an anti-hero. He was like a Shazam that kind of wanted to do his own thing, but took it too far, type thing. You could maybe equate him to the Punisher.
Really?
A little bit,
Yeah.
but I mean, a little bit further to the villain side than the Punisher. But
Okay, we'll see. Y'all helped answer my question.
Hank, Chris knows everything there is to know about comics. So if you got any questions for him, now's the time.
I do.
It's your
I do.
chance.
I wish I had that wealth of knowledge, and I don't. It's
Hank
like,
loves Aquaman.
oh, don't start with me.
It's his
He is
favorite film.
trolling me, man. He's trolling me. He called me. So, like, yeah, by the way, what is the official, like, is there like a thing where you're like, okay, a movie comes out on Thursday night at midnight or whatever. Like, what's the rule of how long it is before you're just like, okay, it's not a spoiler. You've had plenty of time to go watch the movie. Like, is there a rule?
I would say at least a couple weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
But
2 weeks? More than 2, Chris?
I would say at least a couple weeks. Like, yeah, I'd say at least 2 weeks. I mean,
But then you still have to go, spoiler alert.
yeah,
Yeah.
still be careful.
Yeah,
but,
I think so. I think that makes sense. We've done a couple of episodes where it's a review of like Endgame, right? And I think it was just like a week and a half, maybe. It wasn't even that long because everybody saw it that weekend. So I think it can depend on the film. We still haven't done anything with Spider-Man because of me, but 'cause I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
No.
Oh, man.
I know. I'm terrible. I actually could have watched it. We went to the drive-in to see. We saw Lion King.
I'm sorry.
And,
Why?
yeah, I hated it, but over to the right,
I did too.
over to the right, I could see Spider-Man. I was like, let me just go change the radio station, and I could just watch Spider-Man instead. But it was too far into it. I was like, oh well, I'll just wait.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, well. So that's the question. 2 weeks.
Like, yeah, like what's the equal time? Like, what's good enough time?
Yeah, I'd say a couple weeks. For
To talk to tell your friends about it, or to tell like
anybody. If I'm going to be like, hey, they all died in the end. Wasn't that cool?
I mean, even after like a month, I'll still go like, hey, did you see this?
Yeah, I do too.
Because but especially with like the big time movies where they have like surprises and things like that. I never want to ruin anything for anybody.
But the day that Spider-Man Far From Home came out, the very day, like it had premiered that midnight, so it was like the morning of the actual date. On Yahoo's front page, it was like, this is what this means, and it had a picture from the movie. This is what this means.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's just came out. Come on.
Yeah.
So
like the reason I ask that is because like sometimes, most of the time, Tyler and I try to go see them like together if I'm in town or when I was in Nashville or that kind of thing. And if not, then like the first thing we're going to bounce it off each other. It's like, did you like the film? Did you like it? And I think I saw. Yeah, I did. I saw Aquaman before he did, and I hated it. Like I hated it so badly that it like passionately came out of me where I was like, I always judge a movie by, do I feel ripped off or not? Am I kind of like, meh, whatever? Or am I like, I want my money back, like right now? And I hated it that bad. And then he went and saw it and he was just like, why did you hate that movie so badly? And it took me forever. So, and then he defended it a little bit. I see some of his points, but I still hate it. Still hate it.
I mean, I didn't think it was any Avengers Endgame or Spider-Man Far From Home, but I didn't think it was that bad.
As
I
far
liked
as
it better than Captain Marvel.
Yeah, as far
froze again.
As far as we can still hear you. As far as
Okay.
DC movies, it wasn't that bad, but that's not saying a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And by the way,
Ryan,
actually kinda
I'm sorry.
liked it, but-
I keep like interjecting. You keep we're talking about an epic universe that got.
No, it's fine.
I do apologize.
It's fine.
how
I can
we
edit.
roll.
I can edit all this out later. It's fine. No, no, I'm just kidding. No, it's fine.
Hank who? And you guys were talking on a podcast like a couple ago that I heard about the '90s being back, and like when I saw Captain Marvel, I think one of the I didn't love it, I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. But I thought one of the coolest thing was that '90s soundtrack, and like to run around in that 9 Inch Nails shirt, the flannel and stuff. I was like, all right, I'm digging it, and so and I've told Tyler, I said I think that the films that are going to be coming back, it's just like there's only so long you can regurgitate every 80s, 90s film that there is before we have to get back to people who write stuff. We have to get back to people who do, some independent films. It's got to happen at some point.
I hope so.
I do too. Bring back some Sling Blades and such.
Mashed potatoes.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Yeah, right on. I think that's cool.
You want them to redo Pee-wee's Big Adventure?
No, not redo.
Oh, I was like, wait a second.
Make movies like that again.
Oh, yeah.
Because he said make movies like Sling Blade again.
They're about the same.
Pee-wee's Big
Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Sling Blade.
I had to throw that in. We were talking about what movies would you take with you, or what music would you say? That would be one of my
Pee-wee's
movies.
Big Adventure.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure, really? What else?
That Thing You Do. There's another one.
That's a good one.
All
That's
right.
a good one.
We could do
The
a whole
only
episode on this.
movie that he's done, Tom Hanks, that he watches.
Really?
Yeah, he's been asked that. They're like, what movie do you like most? He's like, there's only one that I'll watch that I'm in, and that's That Thing You Do. And they go, well, you're not even really in it that much. And he's like, I know, that's why I watch it.
Well, we need to have. I mean, we're already about like an hour in, so we need to finish up what we're talking about. But we need to have you guys back so we can actually do this. Top 5 movies you would take with you.
Oh gosh, yeah, I'd have to have time to think about this.
Well, I know. No, that's what I'm saying. We'll have everybody back if Tyler and Hank wants to come back.
I would love it.
Tyler's like, no.
Never.
But anyways, okay, so we will do that. If listeners, if you want to hear that, go to Facebook and Twitter and tell us about that. I Am Geek Show. They won't, but please do.
We're gonna do it anyway.
We're gonna do it anyways. Anyways, okay, we're gonna finish out Universal Epic Universe of Epicness. Universal.
I'm gonna jump ahead because I want to go ahead and say this. If the rumors are true, and that land to the far right is a How to Train Your Dragon land, I think that Universal is gonna try to top Disney and do Flight of Passage 2.0. The story literally has a built-in hiccup as an inventor. So it lends itself to an apparatus that you need to fly. That's what I think. Okay, and it would be funny if they included Marvel.
It's not the rumors, but maybe it'll happen. I'm not a fan of How to Train Your Dragon.
Really?
Yeah, sorry.
I like the first one a lot.
I like the first one a lot. The second one I thought was the most depressing animated film ever made.
Oh, you haven't seen Toy Story 4 then?
Oh, that's what I was about.
I haven't seen it either. But
yeah, we can end on that. Anyways, let me
get me started.
All right, well, we'll finish.
I'd rather watch Aquaman.
Yeah, we'll finish this. So the next land to the right is Aquaman land. No, wait, no, that's wrong. It's supposedly, the rumor is it's Fantastic Beasts. Where to find them?
Really?
Yeah.
Supposedly.
I can get down with that.
That's only fantastic. That's not epic.
I think it'll be cool, but I don't think it's going to do what they think it's going to do, because in the Fantastic Beasts movies, you don't have those, for lack of a better word, epic locations like you have in Harry Potter. You basically have New York and France.
Well,
right?
They do. I mean, if they do a stage show, the dinosaurs live thing where they bring out the giant dinosaurs that look like they're real, but they're giant puppets and stuff, but they do the Fantastic Beasts and stuff that they do.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That
I'm just thinking about when you go to Harry Potter World, whatever I'm gonna call it, and you walk through
Wizarding World.
Yeah, you walk through that wall to Diagon Alley. It's like, oh, it's Diagon Alley. This is amazing. Yeah. So I don't know if it'll have that same visual of we're here in New York.
Yeah, I was trying to find it. The rumor, like I saw a picture of the map, and then somebody had listed like all the rumors. It's where I got the How to Train Your Dragon thing. And on the Fantastic Beasts, it said Fantastic Beasts, but then underneath it said Paris.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it would be like in the second one, obviously, when they go to like that underground speakeasy and stuff like that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And then they also have that circus, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And it's just Johnny Depp staring at you.
Wait.
Yeah.
Busy at the Pirates ride. So.
Yeah, you know what kind of rides I want to ride? Notting Hill with you, Grant, and
with a wig.
then just Johnny Depp just
Gilbert,
staring at you.
Gilbert Grape for
20 minutes.
As long as we enter the land by jumping into a suitcase, and that's all I want.
That would be kind of cool.
That'd be a long line.
Yeah.
Come on.
Sorry, sir, you can't enter the land. You can't fit in the suitcase.
I was gonna say something like that. I was gonna be like, you'll have complaining, you know.
Sorry, I mean it would be a small suitcase. Anyway.
Some guy off to the side rubbing you down with baby lotion, being like, "Let's get this guy in there."
Sorry, everybody. The land is closer today. There is a man stuck in the suitcase.
They've got like a broom, you know, a firebolt or a Nimbus 2000. They're trying to like squeeze him in there. Sorry.
Oh man,
lucky old butter.
Yeah, and so the next land is, we've already mentioned How to Train Your Dragon. The rumor is that this coaster you see is going to be sort of a dueling dragon type coaster. And
no theme mentioned yet, though, right?
What?
No theme mentioned yet, though, right?
No.
For the coaster.
No, well, people are saying it could be with How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh.
And then some other people are saying, no, actually, How to Train Your Dragon ends up here closer, and then there's going to be maybe a Jurassic Park world or Jurassic World thing back here that we don't see yet, that they're keeping hidden, which I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
I always thought that was kind of a missed opportunity. I was thinking about that when they opened the Jurassic World ride in California. Like, you literally have a property that is about a theme park.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you build Jurassic Park or Jurassic World?
Because they learned from the movies. People will die.
Haven't you watched?
I mean, they spell it out.
Got started.
I mean, like, there's like 5 movies. They've spelled it out every time. Don't make a park. Like, it's.
I'm not saying they perfect genetics. I'm just saying.
Life finds a way.
Yeah, life finds a way.
The whole point of the movie.
Have you seen the new dinosaurs they have walking around? They have a Triceratops walking around.
Yeah.
And they're like,
Yeah.
you could pet the side, but I watched the video and like this guy goes up and grabs the face, and they're like, "Don't touch the face!" I'm not gonna yell, but they're like yelling at this guy, "Do not touch the face!" And we're like,
Why would you put it where? I mean, why wouldn't you want to? That's what I would want to do. I'm gonna touch the face of a dinosaur.
I'm like, what's wrong with the face? I mean, maybe like how the actor is in the suit. That's a naughty place to touch. Or something.
Speaking of that, did y'all ever hear any rumors about them having? Because I saw this. I don't remember if it was on a video or if I read it somewhere. That originally they proposed doing something similar at Galaxy's Edge with like a bantha walking around.
Oh.
And what's the thing that Luke rides in Empire Strikes Back? Tauntaun. Did y'all ever hear anything about that? Because I never did, but I was like, man, that seems like a missed opportunity.
Well, I haven't experienced Galaxy's Edge yet personally, but so far it feels like there's a bunch of missed opportunities. Knowing Star Wars. I think there's a lot of things they could have done, but they're like, "Oh no, we don't want to limit you to locations you've seen in the movies." And it's like, but that's what I want. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see.
About that, I I had this conversation a long time ago with a friend of mine. We were talking about them doing Tatooine with the cantina and whatnot. And I told my friend, I was like, well, the reason why they didn't build Tatooine, because if you think about it, it doesn't like lend itself to a theme park land. It's very barren. Like, they can't have the dunes, and like, if you like at some point when you're on Tatooine and you're at Mos Eisley, you're going to look out and you see the horizon, the desert. Like, it's just a flat planet, right? And I was like, so it doesn't lend itself well. So like in this new land, they're going to have these big, petrified trees with all this vegetation and like these homes up there and all these vines hanging. No, it's none of that. It's barren rock. Yeah. Like Batuu is literally barren rock. And I was like, well, if you're going to do that, why didn't you just do Tatooine?
Because we hate sand. It gets everywhere. It's the worst.
Well, I think it goes back. I think it goes back to Bob Iger. They wanted to focus on Disney's Star Wars and not Lucas Star Wars, and that's why they chose to go this route.
That's a mistake, I think.
Oh, I did too, but it's still going to be cool, and I'm still going to have fun. But yeah,
I'm looking forward to it on the 20th of August.
Yeah,
Bob Iger is probably going to make that Indiana Jones Kingdom of the Crystal Skull part.
Oh God!
As long as you get to swing with monkeys, that's good.
Wait, do you mean those monkey fighting snakes?
I'd be there Monday through Friday.
Yeah, they're only there Monday through Friday.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm wondering how Galaxy's Edge, like looking back 10 years from now, are we gonna still be like excited about it, or is it gonna be like?
That was supposed to be the point, though, is that they build this new land that is going to be in the future of Star Wars, kind of like not about this old, so that it can be there, because it's the new thing. But I don't know. But
it's fun. Yeah. It's fun.
Here's.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. I was going to say, are we going to have a shade problem in Galaxy's Edge like we have in Toy Story Land, though?
Of course.
Like, is there a place to get out of the sun?
There is under the marketplace. It's like covered, but
just one little place.
Yeah, pretty much.
Somebody brought that up on Twitter the other day. I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even think about that, because it's like all you see is sun there, and you've got what is the thing they say? Shining suns.
Yeah.
What's the greeting?
Bright suns.
Bright suns.
Bright suns. Yeah.
It sure is. Thanks.
I think
it works okay in California, I think, right? But man, that's gonna suck in Orlando.
I think the funniest part of the land is besides the Millennium Falcon, the main ship that they have for you to see was the ship that was supposed to be in Episode 9 that no longer exists, and it's just there.
Well, okay, so I have a question about that.
Yeah.
Is that not the ship we see in the beginning of the trailer for Rise of Skywalker?
No.
Really?
It was a ship specifically designed for the director, the former director,
Colin Trevorrow.
Yeah, he had the ship designed for something for Episode 9. He was scrapped, and that ship was scrapped with him.
Well, what is Kylo, or we assume it's Kylo, flying at Rey in the beginning there? Is that not it?
No, it's a different ship.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so I have a question for like you Star Wars guys. Like, this is a legitimate thing. So when they're changing those kind of things, like Tyler and I are working on a film together. He's also we talk about me making films, but he's a brilliant filmmaker. Some of the stuff that he's done is blows the stuff that I do away, and I've got full-blown production company.
Dude, I can't afford to pay you. Stop.
No, it's for real. He'll have this this little bitty I don't know, a flip phone camera, and he's making great stuff. And I'm sitting there going, "How the hell did you do that? Heck did you do that?" I made it all the way to the end almost. But anyway, he and I are working on a project. I lived in Nashville for 6 years. He's lived there his whole life, so he saw it change more than I did. But it was interesting how that they're tearing down every place that you would go to see, or that you would think you would want to see when you go to Nashville. These studios were some of the most incredible artists of a lifetime have recorded and stuff. And so we're working on that. But now that is kind of where I've started with, because I'm starting to think about things like that. When you are so passionate about a franchise like Star Wars, so you grow up with it, you have these places, you have these things, and then all of a sudden, does it feel like all these things that they're doing, does it feel like they're killing those? Or does it feel like that they're taking them, like, are you know what I mean? That they're doing away with it? Does it feel like it's lacking to you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
At least for me.
Well, yeah, to me it feels like we want to do our own thing. We want
Not a continuation.
Yeah, we want you to like our stuff. And so we're going to do all these new things, and we'll have nods to the stuff you love, but it's not going to be out front.
But it's like when we're talking about Nashville, we're doing this thing, and we kind of got onto it because it was like, you're tearing down all these places, and you're coming here to go downtown on Broadway, but then there's nothing else for you. I mean, at some point, there's nothing else for you to see, And I feel like the same way when they're making some of these films is that, like, you're gambling. And it's kind of like I mentioned the Crystal Skull thing earlier. It's like they're going to, and I think, or maybe it's changed, but like with what they're doing, they're going to act like it never existed. Is that still the plan? Have we heard anything?
My personal opinion, and this is just speculation on my part, they're just not, they won't acknowledge it. You might get, if I was doing it, you'll get Harrison Ford reading a letter from Mutt, he's at Harvard somewhere, and then move on. Like, they have to acknowledge that it's canon, or, I think they do anyway.
I don't know. Like, the Indiana Jones movies, they don't necessarily acknowledge other movies.
Yeah, that's true.
That's interesting.
So,
but I think there's something going wrong with the fact that, like, you're no longer, you would use The Godfather, right? It's just like somewhere God himself is saying, no, nobody's making another Godfather, or at least for now, right? But it's like, you would have these, even though they don't relate to each other, it's still, you would buy a box set of the Indiana Jones and you would just go, man, every one of these are just amazing. It's just like, even the worst one is great, and then all of a sudden you have these other, where they're doing these reboots, they're doing these things, and it's like, they don't care about, like, the sacredness, I guess is a good word for that, of them. And it bothers me a little bit that they're just like, when you have people like Bob Iger, who look at it as like $1. Like, the next thing is just like, let's just make some money off this. Let's make some money.
You mean
this.
Like how they completely ignored the canon of Pirates of the Caribbean?
Yes.
What do you mean? I thought Johnny Depp was always part of it. I don't understand.
That's another thing.
Very funny.
I'm just kidding.
I do like I do like how Jumanji handled it.
Yes.
Yeah, they did a good job.
Well done.
They did a really good job with that. They had some little nods, and it was like out of respect, and they did well. But they took it to another level.
Yeah. Have you ever listened
to
to like Kevin Smith basically talk about movies? He did it.
Yep.
I saw a video that he did, and basically he was talking about sequels, and he said, if you ever make a sequel to any movie, if the basis of that sequel is not for fan service, don't make the movie, because that's what people go to see.
I heard that too. Yeah, like, I mean, that's the point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, they keep doing it. Like, they continue to act like the previous installments don't exist, or they just basically, I would use choice words, but they treat it like crap, essentially.
Yeah.
I said Pirates of the Caribbean, because that, to me, and I know it's difficult for different generations to understand, but like that, Pirates of the Caribbean for me is my Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like, I was 13 when I went and saw Pirates of the Caribbean, and I went and saw it 9 times in the theater.
Oh, I feel so old.
I know, but you're not. But I mean, it's true.
Yeah,
like,
no,
for me,
I get it.
And so when you watch this movie and they completely ignore like the history of the compass and things like that, and Jack's history, it's like, come on, man. And Hank's a big Pirates of the Caribbean fan, and we talk about it all the time. Not to keep going, but like, my personal opinion is like, Jack, when you watch the first film, he was, and I don't have to tell you guys this, but he was a trickster. He was an intelligent trickster, and you didn't know if you could trust him or not. But he was very intelligent, right? He had it all planned out the whole time. And then they turned him into Kevin Hart.
Yep. No, he froze on us.
Yep.
There you go. You're back.
And some bio. Can
There
you?
you go.
Yo, you're fine. Keep
And
going.
you said turned us into Kevin Hart, and then
No,
and now you're back.
Which is not. I said it's not a cut. It's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
But it shows a complete lack of caring on their part.
Yeah.
I think so too. And I think I don't know if it has to do with the writers that are doing that, because honestly, it feels like you have writers and producers who are not fans. You're not getting any of that. It's like, not to harp on it or beat a dead horse, but it's like, it would be like saying, "Hey, Bagwell, will you write the new Star Wars?" And it's like, but it would be terrible, because I don't understand. like Chris is, he has all this knowledge of these comics and stuff of what happened and this and the other. And even like when I'm trying to watch like Walking Dead or something, I'm trying to figure out how is this going with the comics? And like, I don't know about the comics. So it's like, but it's interesting and I think that's the difference, is you have people who have lived that. And then you have had that it was a part of them growing up. And then you have people who were just kind of like, well, it's my job. I guess we're going to write a script today. And thank God they haven't done it with certain films, like leave the Goonies alone. Like,
Well, that's why I didn't mind.
Yes.
Oh,
I hope they don't do another Back to the Future, because it's like, those were perfect.
Leave
Don't
it alone.
touch it.
Yep.
Don't touch it.
Yeah. And it's like, and they don't appreciate I guess, what was the thing? It's kind of like, I love the little side stories. What was the Indiana Jones where he was the boy and they did that TV show?
Young
I think
Indiana
that's
Jones.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, that's awesome, because it doesn't go. But when you're trying to take a film and you're trying to put it into the canonization of greatness, like, just stop. Just don't do it. And it worries me with the new Ghostbusters film that's coming out, because they already screwed it up once.
Here's my fear. Here's my fear. I'm a huge Back to the Future fan as well. I have the newspaper from 2015 with young, whatever, hanging on the wall, framed. If someone like Katrin or myself or Hank was to make a Back to the Future sequel, I wouldn't mind. But that's not what's going to happen.
Right.
It's going to be a by the numbers, Ghostbusters, answer the call. You're going to lose you're going to lose the heart, and nothing against the ladies, whatever. I thought, what's her name, who played the blonde short haired chick? I thought she was
funny. Kate McKinnon.
Yes. But anyway,
she's funny. I like her.
But J.J. Abrams, he specifically, weeks before it was he was correct Star Wars, he was like, "No, I would never." Oh, are y'all there?
Yeah, we're here.
Yeah. You're good now.
Okay. He specifically said, "No, I will never direct Star Wars." He said, "Star Trek wasn't special to me." He said, "Star Wars does hold a special place in my heart, so I don't want to touch it." Of course, I'm paraphrasing. That's what he said. And then I guess somebody made a call and was like, "Oh, no, wait a minute. We want you to do it." But he directed that film as a fan. And then people say, "Oh, it was just fan service." And I'm kind of like Kevin Smith. Well, what's wrong with that?
Yeah,
that's
great.
What we want. That's what Hank and I had said when we walked out of The Force Awakens. We talked about it and whatnot. I think we went to dinner. And it was, in my opinion, the movie that George Lucas wishes he could have made in 1971, 77. When was it? 77?
77.
Yeah.
Sounds right.
So I don't think there's anything wrong with fan service.
Oh no, nothing at all. That's why we go. That's that's why I was gonna watch the new or the Ghostbusters, and it turned out to be not fan service. It turned out to be, let's pretend like that didn't happen. Which I am a big Ghostbusters fan.
I have a little hope for the new one because it's being directed by Reitman's son.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Jason,
That's awesome.
I've got them all sitting here, anyways.
And it will have the cast from the original, so I've got a little hope for that.
And I think
we'll still see.
Yeah. We won't see Egon, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, whenever they're like, "Oh, we're gonna have kids, and they're gonna be the goat," like that's when I start to worry. bringing in kids to do.
I think the kids though. This is what I think, and when it comes out, if I'm right, then you go, "Wow, remember when Ryan said that?" I think the family in that picture that you see is Egon's daughter and grandchildren, and that's how they're going to factor into it.
Yeah, I figured it'd be something like that. But usually, just like when the sequel comes out, they're like, "We'll give him a kid." I'm like, "Oh no!"
I think I told you that last. Didn't I tell you guys that story when I watched Kingdom of the Crystal Skull? And Indy and Marion are in the quicksand pit or whatever, and Mutz ran off to get a rope to help him, and she's trying to tell him that Mutt's his son, and he's just like interrupting her. He's like, "Oh, he's a good kid, Marion. He's a good kid. What, Henry, he's your son." Literally, you couldn't hear anything. Like you could have heard a pin drop in the theater, and somebody in the background goes, "No." It was like, I was like, and we all died. Like the theater started laughing uncontrollably, It's true. You give them a kid, man, and it's like, no.
They've got to do something.
Returns, The Mummy 2. You give them a kid, it ruins everything.
It just. Man, we need some couch time, buddy. It's just like it all started when the kid came. And
it does. It always starts with the kid. You know what they need? You need the kid. Like, oh.
It's a kid.
When are you having children? Come on.
That's like the Die Hard movies. You didn't see as kids, and then when they brought the kids in, that's when it started going down.
Well, they did the same thing with it. They did, and I'm still on the fence of whether I like it or not. But like they did the same thing with Uncharted, like my favorite video game of all time, And all of a sudden,
that's why you and Tyler are friends.
And I'm like, what?
Yeah,
like,
brought in the kids.
What is this? Like this is what I want. I want.
Even Walking Dead that you mentioned, like everyone hates Carl. I mean,
Carl.
No one's kids.
Carl.
And I think here's the thing that I think people are missing, all right? And all these films that they're making, and the thing that I do like about somebody like The Rock playing Black Adam is when I told Tyler the thing that I liked most about Aquaman was this guy.
Black Manta.
Yeah, and so it's like I like the fact.
Tell him the truth, though. You got that for free.
Yeah. This one I paid for. This one.
For the folks at home, he paid for his Nathan Drake.
He's showing Funko Pops. If you guys, we're just talking now, and everybody's like, "What are they talking about?"
They're fighting. But like the thing about it is that they did the thing that Aquaman did that I did enjoy was you've got this superhero and you've got these bad guys. They're bad guys, right? Superman would save a bad guy, take him to jail, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. So they're on the ship, they're on the submarine, the thing traps him, and Aquaman just lets him die. Well, that's a surefire way to get me to hate you for the rest of my life. You let my dad die, right? So at least they did that. And the one thing that and we talked about wrestling earlier, the thing that's made me
called a character arc, Hank.
Right, but it's missing. It's missing. There's no more bad guy anymore. I love bad guys. I think that's one reason that I like wrestling so much is that bad guys get to win. You know, and then like there's no you just have to be whatever kind of thing. And I guess I love bad guys, man. I like it, and I think we're missing a lot of that in films that are happening right now. So. What? Why are you laughing?
He's like, I just like bad guys.
Because if you want to make somebody, it's one thing that I did learn in my little, to write is, watching wrestling. My mother would take me to Memphis, in the 70s and 80s, well, 80s because that would be like early 80s, and I would watch some of those guys that were huge, Jay Lawler, $1 Million Man, all that kind of stuff. And it's right when people really thought that it was still real,
Yeah, it is. Wait, hold on.
Oh God!
It's not real.
My mother would have fought somebody. I remember she'd get mad. Like, "What's not real?" And she's like ready to throw down. She's like, "It is too."
Still real to me.
She's screaming at the referee there in Memphis. What was his name? Calhoun. She'd go, "Come on, Calhoun!" and like get all into it. Like I remember one time Jerry Lawler hit Bill Dundee like in the mouth with a 2x4, like legit, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
he's bleeding, and I'm like, all of 5 or 6 years old, and it's just this gymnasium, and he gets out of the ring and he's leaning on me. Of course, he's just like blood just dripping all over me, and so like I show up at the seat and I see my mom and I'm covered in like Bill Dundee's blood. It's just like, and I'm like, this is amazing, and I just kind of like this. If you really wanted to get somebody to love somebody, you've got to get them to hate them. You got to create the passion, and it's so much easier to get somebody to dislike you, and to adamantly dislike you than it is to get them just to genuinely love you. And so, but it's like this pendulum, and then you get them to swing the opposite way. And I think that needs to happen a little bit more. I would like to see in some of these films that are coming out, like a long-term plan for what they're doing, not just film to film, not just one film to the next film, a long-term plan. Make me love somebody, make me hate them, and I think that's missing, and I hope that changes.
Yeah, I mean, when you talk about wrestling, the other guys won't care, but the probably the 2 greatest factions in wrestling were both heels or bad guys, if you want to call them.
Absolutely.
That. You have the 4 Horsemen, and you have the NWO.
NWO. That's it. Absolutely.
And they were the most loved.
And they are still the most beloved.
Yeah.
To this day.
Yeah.
And so when and I think maybe that is happening, and like WWE's kind of going through some changes with Raw, where they've got Paul Heyman who's in charge of Raw, and I wish they'd let Bischoff have SmackDown, but they're not going to do it like anytime soon, not creatively anyway.
Yeah.
But like you're seeing some like really kind of cool stuff come back where it's like a long version storyline, and I guess that's what I want to say is that like I don't want to just be entertained like just right now. I want to be entertained through the block of things that are coming. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not just nostalgia. I don't want just nostalgia. I really want to invest in what I'm watching. So I think we live in a binge watch era to where people are just creating so much content and most of it's crap, and I want that to change.
I agree.
So Disney Plus is starting when?
November.
Oh, I'm getting it.
We probably all will get it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
It could be an add-on to Hulu. So
No, I don't have Hulu.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I'm looking forward to the. I will get it, even if it's just for the Mandalorian, because.
that's why I'm getting it, because I'm curious.
Me too.
It's all they can do is have 1 or 2 like really like popular shows, and then we'll just leave our subscription for the next 4 years until the next season comes out.
WandaVision. That's it.
Oh, the Marvel stuff too. That's interesting. Hey, did you guys talk about that stuff?
The Marvel stuff we did on our Comic-Con episode.
I haven't
Last
got a chance
episode.
to listen to it yet.
Because Chris was there. He's
Oh, it's Comic-Con.
Really?
Oh,
he gets passes every year for free.
I've never
'cause-
been, man.
Because I'm in the industry. I get free passes.
Really?
I want to go.
Yeah.
Y'all know I'm a collector of things. I want to go just for that. Like, I just want to go on the floor, man.
Oh yeah. Oh, the floor is like the best part. I mean, all the artists, like everything that they have there is so cool. They've got props for movies. They've got so much stuff. It's so fun.
Yeah, I've got friends that own a independent comic company, and they have a booth every year, and they always ask me to come out, and I've never been, man. The madness.
You need to go and experience it.
I want to, man. I went to the first 3 or 4 D23 expos, and by the 3rd or 4th one, man, it just got nuts. And I was like, if Comic-Con is worse than this, I was like, I just can't. I can't take it, and I've heard it is. So.
Oh yeah, it's nuts to the extreme. It's a cattle herd. Like
I think you just found the title of this episode. Nuts to the extreme.
Hank and I were gonna go to.
At least it's not Epic Nuts or Epic Nuts.
Oh, no.
Anything with Epic in it at
Epic
all.
nuts to the extreme.
Yes.
Epic monkey loving.
Epic monkey
You know,
nuts to the extreme.
There's somebody.
Monkey fighting. That's what it is.
Monkey Find Snakes with Tyler Dean and Hank Bagwell.
Some
Hank and
listeners
I
out
were
there are
going
going to be wondering why that's so funny, and they'll be Googling, like, I've had it with these monkey fighting snakes. Then go, look at these guys tricking us.
What were we talking about? Oh, Comic Con. Yeah. Yeah. Hank, if you don't know, Chris is a award-winning animator. Right?
Nice.
Your work won an Oscar. So
I worked on Life of Pi. I was an
I
animator.
love that movie.
Oh,
Did you do the whale scene?
I did not do the whale scene. I did the two big scenes that I did in that was when he's fighting the tiger with the stick, and all the fish are flying around.
Yeah, great.
Or that's when the tiger's attacking him, and then spoiler if nobody saw it, when the tiger
It's been
when the tiger's dying, and he's picking him up and cradling him.
What the heck? Come on.
So I animated that and a few other stuff here and there. But.
Dude, that's great. It's so funny now. Every time I love that movie so much. It's like I take my daughter to the park and there in Memphis, and there's a tiger there, and we always call him Richard Parker. Like everybody's like, "Oh, is that really his name?" I'm like, "Of course it's his name. Look at him."
That's awesome. One thing you may not know about the movie, I always find it funny, is that Tobey Maguire was supposed to be in the movie. He was the journalist, so they had the whole thing filmed with him in it. But for some reason, they gave him the worst wig you've ever seen. And it just looked ridiculous. It was so stupid. Like, we were watching it, like, this is gonna be horrible. Like, nobody's gonna want to watch this.
Really?
And so they refilmed the whole thing with a different actor.
Why didn't they just bring him back without the wig?
He wasn't doing a good job in it either. Like,
really?
Yeah. And it's just like, why is Tobey Maguire here?
And he's a journalist too, so it's kind of like he's working for a newspaper. Like, is Peter Parker like in here? Like, what's he doing?
It was so out of place for him. It was so weird. But yeah, there's a little tidbit.
Yeah,
that's so awesome, man.
He's done a bunch of movies
like that. Like, I'm a nerd when it comes to stuff like that. I've got this book that I keep, and I read it every now and then. It's like the 20 movies you'll never see, that kind of stuff, or 100 movies you'll never see, or whatever it is. And like, it starts talking about reasons why projects fell through, or reasons why actors were, out. And it's not like what we're going through now, where it's like, oh, some scandal. It's always something like, he was just terrible. Like,
And I like Tobey Maguire, but it's just it was just bad. I don't know
I don't know what that is, as far as like even just a little bit of acting that I've done, and I love it. Like, I would rather be in front of the camera than behind it a lot of times. But there's something passionate.
See, and I'm the other way around.
And I love being behind the camera. I love documentary work, stuff like that. But like, if it's if we're not doing documentary work, I kind of want to be in front of that camera. I love it. But
you're gonna get to be in front of the camera on our project, though.
Oh, what's that again?
Tell them a little. So you got all these things you hold close to your vest. You got to give them something, man.
Is Batista going to be in it?
No,
he is not. But Hank keeps trying to get Batista in our stuff, and I'm like, dude. First of all, that's like asking Chris Pratt to come be in it now. Like,
I'm trying to get him to use. There's a lot of those wrestlers who live in Florida and Nashville. Rusev lives in Nashville. Rusev Crush. Yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
I don't know. Like 3 or 4 years ago, we being my dad, his girlfriend, we went to I don't know what you would call it. Like, it's a goodbye party for a building. And everybody was going and like paying their respects because they were going to tear down this building that had all these memories. My dad recorded there. Everybody recorded there. Paul McCartney cut there. Everyone from Paul McCartney to Dolly Parton. I grew up like sleeping on the couch behind the console board, and this guy bought the building and said he was going to tear it down. and it was owned by my dad's producer in the past. He since passed away. His name was Buddy Killen, and he was very influential in the city's growth, essentially, like in many artists as well, including Dolly Parton. And the town's kind of forgotten his name. They don't really. There's like a circle in town that's called Buddy Killen Circle, but it's the one with all the naked people.
Anti-phrases with naked people.
Oh,
Yeah, so what he's saying is there's all these naked people, and it's this huge statue.
Everybody's frozen.
Yeah, there you go. I was finishing up what you were saying. Yeah, there's all these naked people. Then there are huge statues of naked people, like, and it says Buddy Killen Circle, and you're just like, what? Like,
Right.
what does that have to do with anything?
Yeah, so it really affected me. Like, and I had even forgotten. I was going back through an old hard drive to find pictures that I had taken. It's a funny story, and I'm trying to cut it short here, but as a kid, like, I was never really allowed upstairs where Buddy Killen's office was. So like my dad would go up there and he was like, "Oh, just stay down here there was a secretary." And he was like, "Just stay down there." So I kind of thought, I was like, well, like, this place is going to get bulldozed down. Like, I'm going up there now. So I went upstairs and the door was locked. And I even went and tried to like find the key where I knew the keys were hanging in this little copy room. But anyway, so I had went around the building and taken a bunch of pictures. And I was trying to find those pictures for the project we're working on. And I found a video that I had forgotten I recorded of myself standing in the tape room. For those young listeners out there, not everything was always on a computer. They actually recorded things on tapes, reel to reel. And I talked about how much it meant to me and how sad that it was that they're tearing it down, right? So that was just always in the back of my mind. And Hank and I started talking about like 2 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
And he had started the documentary on the Vietnam veterans that he mentioned. And he said, I can help you do a documentary on this. I was like, well, I'm doing this music video. I'm trying to finish my EP, maybe when that's all said and done. So we've talked about it on and off. And one of the guys who was going to be involved in the project co-owned the building with Buddy Killen. He was the engineer. He recorded, like I said, Paul McCartney and all of these people, the Oak Ridge Boys and people like that. He died recently. And I called Hank and I said, we need to move on this. I think this story needs to be told. And so that's what we're doing. We're talking about Nashville and how they're tearing down these buildings and how it is important to protect our history and remember where we came from, essentially.
Wow.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah. So the whole thing that is Tyler Dean needed to kind of take a back seat for this because I felt like it was more important. So that's what we're doing.
That's cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I'm excited about it. It's going to be really, really cool when it's all said and done. So it's just, we're kind of waiting on me to finish a couple of things that I've got to finish up. And
a couple.
It's so funny. I got to tell you something, Chris. You may love this, or at least relate to it. Like, people will call me, and I've learned to edit. I edit a lot of my own stuff, and people will call and go, "Oh, well, just throw that in. Just throw it together." I'm like,
"Oh yeah,
yeah.
What are you talking about? You just throw it together, and it's like, or
pop it in there.
Oh, that one drives me crazy. Oh, just pop this in there.
It's taking your time.
You kind of did that to me today, though, Hank.
What'd I do?
You said, "Yeah, I just need an 8 and a 0 in there. Can you just pop that in there?"
Well, no, that's what I was asking sincerely, though, because I was like, "Is that like how big is that?" By the way, have you finished that yet?
No.
Yeah, I love when people do that to me. They're just like, "So how's that coming? How's that coming?" Well, it's the same as it was yesterday. Along. I'll start being like, "You've got it in your email. Have you not checked it? Let me try it again."
I don't do that.
Yeah.
I don't do that at all. What are you talking about, man?
That's right. So,
yeah, our servers don't like each other. What the crap, man?
So what about that new Universal park? What do you think about that? I'm just kidding.
You're talking about like Universal Springs?
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding.
Are they selling blue milk with alcohol in it?
I can't wait for that.
I've heard it's horrible.
Is it?
I'm excited, man.
That's why they're adding the alcohol to it.
Yeah.
I do want to talk about. I think that for someone who has like drank around the world, that they should like get a little more creative with some of these drinks.
Don't ever do that. Do not do that.
Like they should get a little bit more, because some of the places you go and you're just kind of getting like a hit or a miss. But like I think they should take some of those really cool drinks and spread them out, because what's more American than a bacon bourbon chocolate milkshake?
You throw a hamburger in there, maybe.
Yeah, maybe that.
Hank,
yeah.
You went drinking around the world and you wound up wearing half a Donald Duck costume on a motor coach. Like,
That's
asking people why Pleasure Island wasn't still there.
Are there
Okay,
pictures of this?
No, the sad part of that story is I wish it would have ended that way. That would have been a better story. I wish it would have ended that way.
Is that why your Animal Kingdom is your favorite park? Because you're banned from Epcot now?
Okay, what's y'all's favorite park? Let me hear that. What's your favorite park?
Oh.
And why? Why do you like it so much better than Animal Kingdom?
That's hard.
That's why I say Animal Kingdom's the best park. Because you ask me which one, I'm just like, because this, and this. And then, like, everybody else is kind of like,
Well, for me, it's like if I look at, because we've been going since I was a kid. Like, there's certain versions of the parks, I'm like, that was my favorite park. But that park is no longer like that. So I'm like, it's not my favorite park anymore because it's not like it used to be.
Okay.
So, because I used to love MGM Hollywood Studios, and now it's just sort of like, it's okay.
So what's your favorite right now?
Right now?
Right.
Well,
write it down.
I mean, I have to go. I guess I have to go with my last trip. And my last trip, when I left, I said Animal Kingdom was my favorite park of the trip. So I guess I have to go with that because that's what I said when we left from the trip, that we went to all the parks. I said this was my favorite day, and this was my favorite park of the whole trip. So I'd have to go Animal Kingdom. But my favorite ride is still Big Thunder.
Big Thunder.
Yeah.
All right, Chris, what you got?
I'd have to go with the cruise line.
You little jerk.
God.
I have to go with the cruise
the
line.
fantasy or the dream?
No, I like the smaller ones. I like the magic and the wonder.
Do they have a tiger on it?
Yeah. You're the tiger when you're on there.
Wow. You know what? I think my favorite, if I could pick any like time to go to the park, my favorite, going to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party is my favorite park because you can hop on any of the rides with no lines, and the atmosphere is just so cool in the park. So that would be my favorite time to go to the park.
I don't know, man. That DJ rave thing in Frontierland's kind of weird. Like that was so crazy. I was listening to like Uptown Funk in Frontierland.
Did they have that when we were there? I don't know. I liked it because I mean, not the raves, but just I could go because I'm a big Halloween guy. So all the lights and all the like the Haunted Mansion with the lady sitting out front, the ghost lady that talks to you while you're
that's
in
cool.
line, and the Dapper Dans all dressed up in their Halloween garb.
What are they called? The Cadaver Dans?
Yeah, Cadaver Dans.
Yeah.
And really, Uptown Funk, I mean, that's a really old song that's been covered by Bruno Mars. I mean, it was from Frontier Times.
Oh, that Uptown Funk's gonna get you. That Uptown Funk.
What's that?
Uptown Funk you up. Uptown Funk you up.
Easy there.
Don't smile too hard, Hank.
I'm trying not to. Katrin, what do you got, man? So you gonna stick with Animal Kingdom?
No.
You said earlier that you feel like you're in
I know.
Like you're with Mother Africa.
You're in Africa. I know. So whenever we go, my family goes, and we always, if we don't start off going to Magic Kingdom first, then we don't feel like we're at Disney World, because that's what we think of when we say we want to go to Disney World. We want to go to Magic Kingdom and do all of those rides, because a lot of our favorite rides are there, and experience the magic. Like we've gone at Christmas time, we've gone at Halloween time, we've done those parties and all of those things that happen during those things, and it's all these memories that we have there. So I think that's my favorite park. But there's a lot of annoying things in there nowadays, but that's what we think of when we think of Disney.
I'm going to say Magic Kingdom just because of classic, but then second would be Animal Kingdom. Or I could say Disneyland, I guess, because of classic.
Mm-hmm.
But
there are things that I like about Magic Kingdom, but there are things that I really, really, really dislike about Magic Kingdom that kind of throw it off for me. And so
I just really love Adventureland and the Haunted Mansion. So
you can't beat that.
I mean, if people really knew me, they'd be like, "Come on, man! You're obsessed with those things." So.
I like the scavenger hunt. That's probably one of my favorite things to do.
It's fun.
Yeah,
we did that on our last trip. Yeah.
Yeah, and then so most of the time I'm either by myself or I've got another person, and I'm going in, and you'll go get it, and then the person you'll finish it up, and the guy's like, "How many people are in your party?" And I'm like, "Hey."
That's how you get on multiple times. We did. So we did it with Ryan, and our families go a lot together, and we did the scavenger hunt, and we didn't realize you had to finish it by 6 o'clock because they closed the doors. We just got the map from the lady, and she's like, "Here you go, just come back." And so we go do all the things and come back, and it's closed. So fortunately, Ryan's wife went and talked to somebody and was able to get us the tickets. Said, "Hey, we didn't know it was gonna, there was a time. We did all these things."
Yeah, she's good at that.
Yeah.
Hey, can I tell on you about the first time when I took you to Magic Kingdom?
Sure. I don't remember what you're talking about, but yeah.
We left Animal Kingdom, and I told him, because Hank's like myself, he enjoys the occasional adult beverage, and I told him, I said, Hank, there's no alcohol served at the Magic Kingdom, and he stops dead in his tracks. I think I videoed this, and we were doing a video, and he goes, "Why are we going?"
That's the reason. When I was going to say there's something that I hate about Magic Kingdom, that's it. So it's like if you're at Animal Kingdom, you can get a beer, you can go to It's a Bug's Life, or It's Tough to Be a Bug, and you can just get over this whole screaming kid thing. But man, you go to Princessville, and it's just bad. And so here's another thing. So I got these cards, because I've just been doing this. So you tell me that's not the coolest souvenir. I can't see what those little cards that you get that thing, and it's just they're just cool. I want to frame them, and these maps are awesome. And it's kind of really cool. That's cool. Whoever thought of this should do more stuff like that. I just think it's super cool, or change it up some too.
So the thing at Epcot that was the Agent P is going to be DuckTales. They're redoing it or whatever. So that'll be interesting. But it's an app thing. It's not like you get anything from it. I mean, and that's the way the Agent P was. You use the app and you go but it would interact with things, but you didn't have the map like you do with the Pirates. That's one of the best souvenirs. My kid's 8 years old, and he loves that stuff. Loves that's the cool. Pirates, and we were. Unfortunately, we've lost the map. I thought it was in his backpack, it stayed there forever, and I have no idea where it is. So we're going to have to get another one. But that's one of the coolest things.
DuckTales.
I haven't done the wizard thing. I'm talking about the map. The map in Pirates, what we're talking about. But at Epcot, they do the Agent P. And and it tells you, you get these clues and you go around it's similar, and you interact with these things, but it'll be DuckTales.
That's the third change, because it used to be Kim Possible,
Kim
now
Possible,
it's Agent P, so now it's going to be DuckTales.
And it's all the same effects, pretty much, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Just different story.
I will say one of the coolest things that happened to me at Magic Kingdom was when Tyler told me there was no alcohol. Is that
I said,
"You're kidding me." I'm like, in this whole place, there's not any alcohol. And he's like, "Well, there is this little cantina that you can go." And so it was when I was first like a real Disney, becoming a fan of Disney, right? And I was just like, I don't understand. And I wound up going into the cantina, right? And so I'm like taking pictures and like Snapchatting and stuff, and like everybody's freaking out because I'm in the little, and I didn't realize it, but like I'm in the butterfly room, just like having a beer. And everybody's like, "How did you get in the butterfly like booth?" And I'm just like, "I didn't know this was a big deal." And I'm supposed to be, so it's been kind of cool, just like little things like that happen. So, yeah, I didn't understand that.
I will say, like, I haven't been to a Disney park in a while, but yeah, like I know I'm terrible. I will say, like Ryan, growing up, MGM would be like my pick. Like growing up, it was a great park. But really, like now, like, and my wife's probably influenced me a bit because she doesn't like to do roller coasters. She doesn't like to do rides like that. But nice.
Oh.
But
look at it.
It's a picture of Tyler at MGM.
That's adorable.
So she doesn't do roller coasters.
Yeah, she doesn't do roller. She doesn't do rides. It just makes her sick. So we really enjoy Epcot a lot. Going there because there's just a lot to just walk around and see and do, and you don't have to you don't necessarily have to do any rides there in order to enjoy it.
I love Epcot, but I love old Epcot.
Old Epcot. That's what I was just about to say. Yeah.
But I mean, it's been like 5 or more years since we've been there.
Old
So.
Epcot. Epcot Center.
He hasn't. I really, because I guess I'm like Hank's go-to when it comes to talking about like old school Disney stuff. Because, like I said earlier, he's got his passions and I've got mine, and he shares his with me, and vice versa. And I've never really discussed like old Epcot Center with him, but he would just Epcot would be a contender for his favorite part.
Yeah, he loved it.
Yeah, I mean it was incredible, but hey, we've got to just. What do they say? If you focus on the past, you'll never see where you're going, or something like that.
Sure.
I don't know, man. Sometimes I think they need to hold on to a little bit of that stuff. But yes, I agree.
Mission Space is so much better than Horizons.
What's that?
I said Mission Space is so much better than Horizons.
You shut your mouth. Mission Space is one of those rides that I ride once and I'm like, okay.
I don't ride it because I don't want to die.
Hey, so I got to tell you something cool. So the guy that I met that builds the roller coasters, right? So he's like building the Guardians of the Galaxy thing right now. And I was like, man, do you do you get to like hang out? I mean, like, do you get to ride them first? He's like, oh no, as soon as it's done, they're like, okay, get out. And so, and he laughed. He goes, no, we get like, passes and stuff like that. But one thing he told me was cool, and I don't know if anybody knows this or not, but I didn't know it. He's like, when the park closes, they still do it. They take these like 200-pound sandbags that are like, humans, and they throw them in the ride and they run the ride for a while. And like, just to make sure that it's like, not going to fall apart or something like that. And I thought, man, that's crazy. Like, who has that job? Picking up 200-pound sandbags shaped like a dead human and throwing them.
They also use. You can look it up. They also have the big water tanks like that are shaped like humans that they fill with water and put those in there too.
Really?
Why is it shaped like a dead human?
Well, it's not like.
One?
No, I mean it's like okay. So maybe I said
This one had its head decapitated.
What are those little fighting robots that used to hit and they just go limp? It's like let go and they like come back ready to fight. Yeah, it's like maybe not in the shape. Okay, it's just like in a shape. Like how the person's sitting there.
They have those for all the resorts. They have those for the pools, and they'll come. It looks like a dead human, pretty much like the shape. And somebody will, like, I was in the pool one time and I see this like lifeguard, I guess it was the head lifeguard, and he's got it in his arms. He's like sneaking around and he just like leans over and slides it into the pool. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? So there's like this dead, like looking human at the bottom of the pool now. And I'm like, okay. And then all of a sudden I hear whistles. And then like from every part of the pool area, lifeguards just in their full clothes, just jump in the pool and grab the dead human and pull it out. And that's just part of their training. But I'm like, shouldn't you like tell your guests, hey, don't be alarmed. Getting ready to slide a dead human body into the pool right beside you. Don't worry.
If that little thing is not blue, I don't know what they're doing with their lives. Like, if you're gonna freak your guests out, I mean, like, go for it. Like, be like, not like pull it up and be like, oh, that's just a dummy. Like, pull it up and go, oh my gosh.
Yeah. I mean, if they want a real analog, it should just be a dead pig that they're shoving in there.
Oh God!
Wow.
They did it on MythBusters all the time. I mean,
good night, everybody. We have been talking for 2 hours and 5 minutes. Can you believe that?
I've had a blast.
I not only love listening to long podcasts, I love being on them, man. So
cool. Got anything else, or do we want to end with a dead pig? I don't know.
I don't want to end with a dead pig. I do want to talk about one thing before we go.
Okay.
One thing. It's a.
Is it your new religion?
My new religion? No. No, I was gonna I really wanted to nerd out about wrestling for just a second.
Do it.
Huh?
Do it.
It's just I'm happy with what's happening. I'm happy that like I said, I learned to write by watching wrestling. If that makes any sense at all.
No, it makes perfect sense to me.
And so, but I'm happy to see that it's changing. I like that AEW is coming in and forcing them to kind of like break the mold a little bit, like to come back and not just be so like blah. Like you never can tell the storyline's changing from one day to the next. And I like that like some of these new guys are getting a shot at things, and we're talking a lot about what we're doing right now. So SummerSlam, I'm excited to see what they're going to pull off. And it's just, yeah.
Yeah. So are you up to date? Like, do you watch Raw and SmackDown every week? So so who's Roman Reigns going to be facing? Who pushed the scaffolding on top of him?
They're saying it's funny because while I was watching it, I've been on travel and I just got back, so I was watching it last night today, and I was like, wait a second, that's a dude right there, and like with his back turned, and they're saying that it's Buddy Murphy. That's who it looked like. We're wearing the same shirt and everything. Yeah, so if it's him, that would be cool. But like, I think I hope they just keep changing and doing this stuff. That like the Brock Lesnar Seth Rollins feud is probably my favorite that's going on right now, and I'm not a Seth Rollins fan. Sorry, Seth, if you listen to the podcast.
Yeah, he does. He's one of our biggest fans.
He does.
Hey, Seth.
But like, and I think that's my favorite one that's coming. And I was at the Raw reunion show because it was over in Tampa, and like some of the guys come out, but Roman Reigns is not my favorite, but he got the biggest, like, arguably, like, probably one of the biggest pops. So his music hit, and everybody kind of like went nuts, Yeah. And I was like, wow, really? And then, but when you hear Lesnar's music hit, and everybody can say whatever they want to about the guy, but like that dude sells tickets. Like people go to see him, and I can tell that like most people don't agree with me on that, but it really is true. I know you don't like.
I don't like Brock. If he was like, if he wasn't the champion and he just showed up and did special things, I'd be like, yeah, okay. But because they keep the belt on him, that's why I don't like him.
I think the thing about that, well, now he's not going back to UFC, so he's going to be there like more often, especially since Heyman's doing Raw kind of thing. Yeah. Okay, but they're all falling asleep on us looking at it. But I gotta say, last night's segment with him was great. We can end it there, but I dig it.
But Tyler, I mean, all of you guys, I mean, the thing is what piques my interest right now with wrestling is not sort of what's going on TV, but that they're hiring, like we said, these guys from the 90s to come back and basically have, be in charge of a creative. But like we were talking about earlier, like we were talking about earlier with writers, and we wanted something fresh. The thing that's driving me crazy is that even though they hired these guys, they're not giving them control, because it came out that like last week's SmackDown was rewritten by Vince McMahon 4 hours before the show.
Yeah, twice. Absolutely. And well, they're saying that SmackDown is not, that guy's not in charge of it, but Raw is pretty much Heyman's now. But I will say this. This year, WrestleMania is in Tampa, which is just right down the road.
Yeah.
So open invite, mi casa es su casa for you guys. Because I tell people who aren't wrestling fans, I'm like, if you go and see what WrestleMania is, and you're sitting there and watching it, it's a spectacle. Like it is showmanship at its finest.
And trust me, Hank has the room for you guys, and he loves company.
Yeah, come on, all of us. Like we should plan it out. You guys come here and just do like a podcast here.
Well, if you want to, same offer. If you want to come to the Royal Rumble, it's here in Houston this year.
Dude, I'm down. Like I'm the wrong.
Yeah, be careful.
I have no one to go with.
Brother, who are you? I mean, like I'm Hank. Remember that? Remember we were going to the Royal Rumble? Yeah. Like I'm down.
Tell me you don't like Star Wars. Hank's like, no, I love it. Look, I brought the DVDs.
I love the Star Wars. War of the Stars.
I've been looking for somebody to go to Royal Rumble with me. So,
dude, I'm down. And the same thing. I took my brother to. He's probably not going to listen to this, so I can say this. My brother doesn't get excited about anything. I love him, but like he doesn't get excited about anything. I don't know, like when Jesus comes back one day, he's going to be like, I mean, that's all you got? Really? That was it? I mean, it's going to be like, nothing is going to impress this guy, And so I took him to WrestleMania, and because we've been talking about it since we were like kids, and I'm finally like, we're going to do it this year. So I took him, and we had a blast. And then even afterwards, he was just kind of like, it was all right. And I was like, and this is a guy who screams and yells at the TV, with me, watching wrestling or football or whatever kind of stuff. But it was funny. But yeah, WrestleMania, I've always told people, like, if you're not a wrestling fan, like, just watch it. You don't have to know anything. Like, they'll fill you in on everything that's going on. It's just just to watch what they do is just incredible. So,
it is incredible.
So yeah, let's do that. That sounds like a good time.
Do it. Tyler's going with us.
He should. He would love it. Like if he got into it, he would absolutely love it. Because not only does it give you something else to gripe and complain about, because I love doing that. It's just kind of like, it's like Bob Iger's not in charge. Like Vince McMahon is the Bob Iger of WWE of wrestling, and it's just kind of like when you're talking about, you can look at the shift of what's happening with Raw, like, and go, oh, dude, that's amazing. And then you look over at what's happening with SmackDown, and you're like, like, what's going on here? And so we should do that. Like Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, let's do it.
And Tyler, you may get a job out of it because if Vince McMahon sees you, he'll be like, I like that big piece of meat. I want to hire him.
He's gonna call me Big Country. That's my
Big Country.
There you go.
Here he comes.
There's a song you could enter to the ring in.
Oh.
Oh, shut up.
I hear a lot of people want to take that to Desert Island.
And they just, I don't know. Instead of they can just call me the Tiger instead of the Rock.
Just wait. I'll brag on him for a second because
man, I don't pay you enough.
That EP he's got is just great, and the album he's got that he's going to release is just really, really good.
Hank and I are kind of like we're like
all the crap I can give him about Taylor Swift while I can.
No, Hank and I are neck and neck because we're wondering like who's going to succeed at our dreams first. With his documentary, I keep telling him he's going to win an Oscar. So we're just kind of seeing who. I really honestly believe it.
I think you both have succeeded because you've been on I Am Geek. So I mean,
you've made it.
You've made it.
Yeah, it's all downhill from here.
I'm going to make y'all a promise. If I win an Oscar, I'm going to be like, I'd like to thank I Am Geeks.
I mean, dude, it's happening. I've already told Ryan, be prepared. Like he really, he's got to want it, man, because I'm gonna give him a shout out.
Yes.
Yeah.
We love the shout outs.
But then
I give you shout outs now, but they don't really matter right
I'm
now.
still gonna have to buy my own T-shirt.
I get one like.
He'll be like, "Hey Hank, so you're nominated for an Oscar. Would you wear an I Am Geek?" I'd be like, "Absolutely, I would." And he'd say, "Well, it's available."
It's shop.spencer.com.
You still have to buy it.
Next time, hey, if you guys have me on again, I'm gonna have one. I'm gonna be wearing it. You watch.
Well, we are going to definitely have you guys on again because we're gonna do that top 5 movies you take to Desert Island. That's gonna happen.
Yeah, we got to throw in music on that too, though.
We could do music, movies.
So the way the rules work is like movies. It's just 5 standalone movies, okay. But with the music is that you get everybody, like whoever the artist you pick, you get their body of work. So like you can't see like, well, I want the Rolling Stones, and then like get all their different, like Mick Jagger and it's getting late. I'm an hour ahead of you guys. Richards, but like if you pick Keith Richards, then you get Keith Richards of the Rolling Stones. So, and I love that list, but it changed a lot for me. So,
all Hanson. That's just. Just the one song. None of the other ones. I just need the one song.
Do they have other songs?
On repeat. Can you imagine being stuck on a desert island?
Me.
Yeah. Bop on repeat. Oh gosh.
That would be horrific.
Yeah. They would find my body on the island, and then they would find the iPod, and they'd be like, "Oh, okay, I get it. Yeah."
He had plenty of food and water. I don't understand.
Yeah. Oh, okay, I get it.
That should be in the like Dwayne Johnson, D. Jitty, if you're listening. You should like do that in the new Jumanji. There should be some guy who's just been lost. It's Chris, and he's been lost there for forever. And he just listens every now and then. He just shows up listening to MMMBop, just like
It shows up.
By the way, I'm not excited about the trailer on that second one. I know we don't need to get off into that, but like I saw it, and I was like, what?
It's gonna be hard to top the first one.
Again, writing them too quickly, just writing them just to be writing them, and I don't get it.
You mean you don't like The Rock's impression of Danny DeVito?
No. No. I just yeah.
I don't know, guys. I don't know what's going on with my Wi-Fi, but now I'm on a date with Chris, so just me and him.
We can still hear
Just
you.
me and him.
That's it. Yeah. You need to get that frame put up there next to the Taylor Swift thing. He is gonna send me a text after this is over with going, how many times?
No, man. No, it's good. It's an accomplishment. I've told them before. I'm thankful for that song. I'm not just being politically correct. I am thankful for that song because it got me like what little popularity or like publicity I got was because of that song. So I owe it to it, man.
Katrin will send you a signed headshot if you want it. He's got like a ton of them laying around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I took screenshots.
I want one of those autographed ones.
With every T-shirt you buy, you get a free headshot of.
Son of a. Here with that T-shirt. We ought to buy one and be like, you know what? Don't send it without an autographed photo.
Yeah.
I don't want it back.
Great.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay, so I've got to edit this whole thing, and so I think it's that time. I mean,
good luck, man.
No, there's nothing to edit, but I got to add in music, all that stuff. Make it perfect.
You could always edit out that little comment that's going to get me trolled on Twitter if any WWE fans hear me call.
No, man, no, that's raw right here.
Raw.
The real Hank Bagwell revealed.
He hates Shrek and women.
It'll be horrible. They're gonna be like, yo. Anyway, yeah. I can already hear it. I don't know. I don't get trolled a lot, but maybe that'll change one day.
You've made it when you get trolled, so.
I think so. Maybe you guys could do some fake Twitter accounts and just troll me.
Okay.
Look special.
I'm gonna I'm gonna do a fake Facebook account just to show you love.
Oh my goodness.
So Ryan, you could troll him with your bippity boppity poop.
Yeah. No, we can't give it away, Dad. We don't.
Oh, it's not us. I don't know.
Can't give away my idea because then somebody's going to steal
We already
it.
talked about it.
Oh, we did?
I thought we did. I thought that's where we came up with it. Was on the show. But
You guys do any of those?
we'll tell you later.
Galaxy
After we stop, I'll tell you about my book, and then I know if it comes out, I'll know it's one of you guys that did it. Anyways, thank you for joining us, guys. Tyler, again, thank you for coming back and hanging out with us. You're welcome anytime.
Dude, I love it.
Yeah. And Hank, thank you for, letting us be your first.
Yeah, I'm down.
Oh, wow.
I'd like to thank the I Am Geek podcast.
It's been great. And you're welcome back anytime.
Thanks, man.
They
I
were
enjoyed it.
gentle
Anytime
on
guys
you,
want me,
Hank.
I love it.
Yeah.
What's that?
I said they were gentle on you, buddy.
Great. I appreciate it.
Always remember your first.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
I've
man.
made it this far being so good, and you
Yeah.
guys just hate me. You guys just keep hating me.
Welcome to I Am Geek After Dark.
There you go.
Anyway, so thank you guys, and thank you listeners for listening. And please, if share with all your friends, give us some likes and some 5-star reviews, all that stuff. We love to
T-shirt purchases.
Yeah, we haven't plugged that one enough.
My God, this episode needs to be please buy a t-shirt.
Yeah. Anyways, thank you guys for listening, and we will get with you next week here on I Am Geek. Good night, everybody.